everybody. It's me, Kismet. I'm a little early today. Man, did I get some rest. I was worn out from a long week of hard work and just crushing it left and right. What a good week, man. Whew, I got so much done. So much more going out this week, too. Lots of amazing things. Guess what I got in today? I got in 1,000 Kismet candy bars from my awesome people at Phasure. Thank you so much. I'm sure I'm butchering their name, by the way. I'm sure it's totally pronounced a different way in Finnish. But thank you so much to them sending me that. That means that, of course, all of you who are at TwitchCon, and I've already got the all the candy I had purchased personally before for the 2018 and 2019 already. But all of this is earmarked for TwitchCon, which means that we're going to have lots of cool TwitchCon loot to give out. I also have heard some very great news, which I've passed on to my mods, also about TwitchCon, which is very cool. But I can't release that yet, but I will release that as soon as it happens for surezies. Because you never know. And of course, you know, I try to plan things out. The problem is when you try to plan an event like this right up against it, right, when you're waiting for stuff, you know, some of this stuff is 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks out when you're trying to get stuff together, when you're trying to work with sponsors, when you're trying to do all that stuff. And when it comes right up to about a month away, we're about 40 days away. So almost just a little bit more than a month away. That's, you know, you don't want to be doing the stuff right then, right? You don't want to be doing it right a month away. You want to have, because this, you know, that took 4 or 5 months ahead of time just to get the Kismet candy bars to here where I am now, right? Because it takes time. For sure. Oh, they can't get to it. I have a separate fridge in that I keep it in away from my kids. But my kids are good. They would not ever touch that. They know that does not belong to them, and they should never touch it. But when I buy some separately, though, then I give them some of those. Usually they come in and say, "Oh, did you buy some more Kismet candy bars?" I go, "Yeah," because not all of them are sponsored. You know, some of them I buy. Some years, you know, they'll send me a certain amount, and then I'll buy the rest of them. And use those and hand those out to everybody. As well, just kind of supplement those. Last year, I bought a bunch of the larger bars to hand out. You know, those are like $4 a piece, by the way. If you buy them, the real big ones, man. I mean, they're like the Wonka-sized bars. They're like so good. But totally worth it because, you know, you hand them out, you get a thing, you know, it's got my name on it. How much better than that? I guess I should have one right here. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. Let me go grab one. Be right back. I got one right over here. Where's my buttons? Right here. I love doing spontaneous stuff on stream. Here we go, everybody. The Kismet candy bar. You didn't believe me. It was real. There it is. If you've never seen it before, that is right. The Kismet candy bar. They got a bunch of them. The hashtag not sponsored. These are the ones I actually bought. So I don't have to put sponsored on this thing. I bought these suckers. These are for everybody going out. Look at the little mini version. Isn't that awesome? I love the little minis. Great. It's like a little tiny candy bar. These are so good. These are like, you know, when you eat chips, right? When you eat your chips that you absolutely love, and you eat one and you got a whole bag of them, and you're like, okay, I'll have just a few of these. And then you look down, the whole bag's empty. That's the way it is with these Kismet candy bars. They make amazing, amazing candy bars, and really all sorts of chocolate, wonderful confectionery over there. If you'd like to check them out, there's a link right down below the stream. I greatly appreciate their support here on the stream. And that came about because of you guys. One of my community came in from Finland and said, "Kismet, did you know there is a candy bar here in Finland called the Kismet Candy Bar?" And I'm like, no way. I'm like, that's the coolest thing ever. And so I checked, by the way. I am actually about 3 years older than the actual Kismet Candy Bar. So I actually came first and then the candy bar. So there we go. So I contacted him and I said, hey, you know, in life, you just got to go for it, everybody. You got to make those dreams a reality by just trying. And, you know, it's okay if they say no. You got to be okay with people saying, nah, it's okay. You know, we're fine. But they didn't say that. I said, Kismet, Why about we send you a bunch of candy bars and you can hand them out at TwitchCon? And I'm like, all right. So they did. So big thanks to them. I appreciate them sponsoring the channel. One of my first sponsors here on the channel as well. I greatly appreciate that. And if you want to get yourself some Kismet candy bars, or they also have malted milk balls. They have like different stuff like cookies and cream. They have like mint and all sorts of great stuff. One of my favorite ones, which they didn't have this year, which is a bummer, is the orange one. The Ogremar one is what I call it anywhere. Ogremar, like in WoW. Basically, it's orange and milk chocolate with wafers. So this is like a Kit Kat, right? It's like a Kit Kat wafer kind of milk chocolate Kit Kat. It is so good. It is. I want to eat this one right here. Look, I better get those away from me. I better get them away from me. Get out of here. Get out of here. Now I'm eyeballing them over there. I'm eyeballing them. Or I'm going to totally eat those. Those are so good. So good. So I'll be giving those out at TwitchCon. So make sure to look for me and to look for my mods. My mods will have, of course, their mod t-shirts. They'll be wearing their yellow fedoras, hopefully, if they come in. Apparently, since it's going to be in September and not October, those little hats that I bought them last year. I got to wait until right until TwitchCon is upon us. But we'll see what we can work out there. And then, of course, I have a bunch of other sponsors who are sponsoring this year. A lot of cool stuff going on. I hope to see you guys there. If you go to one TwitchCon, of all the TwitchCons, this is the one. San Diego is hands down always the best TwitchCon. It was my first TwitchCon I went to, and I had such a fantastic time. I met a lot of fantastic people there, and I learned a lot of stuff in those seminars that actually led me to where I am now, to a partnership, as well as having a semi-stable stream where I can come in and hang out. We can play some games and have some fun, just like that. So yeah, I appreciate everybody and their outpouring of love here on the stream. We're going to play, of course, some Satisfactory tonight. It's kind of my prerogative on Fridays. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to unlock my mods at TwitchCon. Now, we're getting there little by little. But again, we're 40 days away. And if you want to be part of the top part there, the 150 and above, where we go and be your ambassador at TwitchCon, we collect a ton of epic loot. We send it out to you guys. Whatever swag we get, all right, we send it to you guys, as well as I will send you a Kismet loot drop as a bonus on top of that. So remember that your donations are purely for getting my mods to TwitchCon. But, you know, I throw some extra loot in there from my sponsors and, of course, directly from me. A lot of that I got to pay for. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. That's a tomorrow problem. I'm at the age where I got to just go for it, right? You just got to go for it. You got to grab the reins of your life and you got to go. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to do it in the future one day. One day never happens, especially at my age. One day is not going to happen. If I don't do it right now, it ain't gonna happen later. So we're going to go for it, everybody. That's what you got to do in life. You know, you got to chase those dreams down. They're not going to just drop in your lap, right? I wanted to be a graphic designer. I worked really hard to be a graphic designer. I'm lucky enough to go on to work in some of the top places in the world. Incredibly great career. And then here I am, my second chance in life, my second career, where I hang out, play games, talk with you guys, be a broadcaster here on Twitch. And I love Twitch. It's been giving me so much love this year. Much love to Twitch. Big love out to them. They have been, of course, showing me that love, and I appreciate it greatly here on my channel. And again, we're a bit early today, but that's okay. We're going to have some fun. We're going to get into some trouble, so settle in, everybody. Settle in. We're going to get this going. Now, of course, I started a little bit early, thanks to Wrath of Wall, of course, stepping in and stepping up, helping me out. Also, we got Gwen coming in later, lending a hand. We're also, I just see those cool mod shirts in my mod chat. We got some new mod shirts coming in. It's so awesome. I got to get those emotes. I got to get those emotes for chat through Fankerface. We'll get that going, everybody. We'll get that going. But let's say hello to everybody in the chat. And let's get into it. Let's get her going here. Let's see who's in the chat right now. We got Raz coming in with the salute, the double salute, and then the instant lurk. I appreciate all my lurkers in the chat. Pimp of the Dead coming in, showing the love as well. Wow, Raz been following for 2 years, 2 months, and 17 days. Long time. Long time. Thank you so much for that. support Raz. Appreciate it big time. Destin coming in with the biddies. The 39 biddies. Why 39 biddies? I always wonder why people do it. Maybe that's the maximum biddies he's got. I don't know. Sometimes there's a reason. I don't know. I don't know if it's just random or what. Let me know in the chat. I messed up last year when I fried to sub. When I tries to sub. I don't know what you're trying to say there. We're at the wall typing some weird stuff in the chat there. What's up? Kismet, what's up? Hello. Oh, look at that cute little emote. That's so cute. The kids will not eat the candy. Don't worry. I'm going to be turning them into Kismet loot drops, and then I'll be sending them out to California before I go out there, and of course handing it out to you. Now, again, if you want to get epic loot here in the stream. By the way, let me mention this before I forget. I finished the giveaway last time, but I forgot to mention it on stream. It was Insifer who won that, by the way. Let me just clarify that before I get too far started. So congrats to him for winning that random giveaway last time. I totally, after I turned the stream off, I forgot to announce it on stream. I pressed the button, but I didn't announce it. So there you go. Tried. Sorry, kids. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No typos won't be, don't be upset to put typos in my chat. Don't worry. It's going to happen a lot. It's going to happen a lot, and, oh well. Let's play some games. Let's go. All right, everybody. We're going to get it going on. Hey, Johnny Pickle, what's up? Exclamation point followage in the chat to see how long you have been following my channel. All right, let's get into some Satisfactory here, if I can find my cursor. There we go. Boom, we've been crushing it in this game, man. We've been just jamming, having lots of fun, getting it going on. A little warm. You guys warm where you are? Man, it's been hot, man. It's been overpowering my AC unit. I got two AC units. I have central air and heating, which is like a forced air system in my house. And then also up here in my office, I have a separate space heater and cooler, and even then it's hot. I don't know. You think your AC broke? Here's what you do, by the way. If I found my AC, I thought it broke once. I have one of those portable ones, right? I used to have one that's in the window. I hate those because you can't, you have to take that thing out of there is like a huge thing. So what you do is you go to Home Depot and they have the portable ones that just have like a kind of a snake hose that goes in your window, and then you close your window, and of course you want to tape it all off and put some insulation there. So of course it's not, letting the air and whatnot in, or bugs or whatever. And then what I did is I found that at the bottom of it, it builds up condensation and it actually has water at the bottom. So every now and again you have to detach it, take it, I roll it into the bathroom, and then I have to, strong arm it into the bathtub. And then I unthing the thing, and it has like a bunch of water in there. And when that water builds up to a certain level, it shuts off. So I run out that water, I empty the water, then I put it back, and working better than ever. So a little tip for you if you happen to have that little Kismet tip to get that going on. Look at this beauty right here. Look at this. We got another big old base on top of our base, which is way over there, going over here, trying to get these computers going on. We got lots to do, and it's pretty exciting because, man, we have got just an insane amount of pure nodes over here. We're going to get that going. Turn my game sound up just a little bit. This is always so awkward. I don't know why this is so awkward here. That's just so awkward to get down from there, because you'd think you just hold down S and you go down backwards like you would, right? No, it just makes you fall. Makes you fall sometimes. All right, that's okay. I got food. I'm good. Okay, so the last thing we were working on was this right here, where we're trying to feed this in here. And then, of course, we're going to convert this into the iron ingot here. And then we're going to go ahead and find a way of running this, right? So what we've been doing is we've been working on optimizing the line, right? Optimizing the line where we don't have to do a lot of splitting. Where it'll basically just combine all the line together, recombine it again, right? This is 30 here. Oh, hold on a second. I think there's just something really funny about that. Time to get ready for the stream. I'm here early. I'm already ready. I'm ready to go. I don't know about you. See, that's my, I have so many alarms set so I don't oversleep or forget or whatnot. See, I'm not like normal people anymore. I don't just sleep on a schedule. I sleep when I can. I get up. I don't lay there because it's really frustrating to lay there and not be able to sleep. So I get up and I get going. So that's why sometimes I'll start early, or sometimes I'll run behind. Such is the way if you have medical issues. All right, so I feel like what we were trying to do here is get this to run right up against here. Now, these are the ones we're going to eventually use, but I feel like they're right here in the way. It'd be kind of difficult to run those. Well, let's take these out. And let's go ahead and recombine all of this, right? So we got this coming down at 270. And then it's going to be split 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. All right. I think we figured out last time that 270 divided by 8 is the correct number. So let's go in and look. Let's see. Or actually, in this case, 240 divided by 8. That's right. 240 divided by 8. Or really, 240 divided by 30 is 8. Because you got to have it come in at 30 per minute, right? So that's kind of like the magic number there, right? So now we've got them running down into here. And we had to go in, do a little bit of power. Get that going. And then, of course, over here, we've got this going. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get to computers, right? We're trying to get to the computer level. So all of this here is now being split, and then we want to recombine it again. And we're getting to a point now where we have lots and lots of resources while we're over here. Meanwhile, back at our base, tons and tons of stuff are being done back over there. So we're building up more resources while we're doing this. So we're just kind of using a much more streamlined, easier way of building our base. Because we want to learn those deep game mechanics, right? We want to learn those things that continually make our base better and more efficient. And that's what we're working on. That's one of my favorite things to do in any game. And that is to get an idea of the game mechanics and then, of course, take it to a whole nother level, which is what we're doing right now. So that's going to go into there. And so on. We're going to go ahead and add these all the way down. I should get up on top here. Hold on. Now, this is going to go this way. And it should come out on this side. And it does look like it does. All right. And this is going at 270, which is actually faster than what we need. But better faster than slower. There we go. And I find getting up on top here is just a bit easier when you're doing this. You can just jump from item to item. And you'll know if you screwed up. Because nothing will come down nothing will come down there. There's something weird going on there. Now these are splitters. These are splitters, not mergers. That's a dead giveaway right there, based just on the coloring alone. So we're going to go in and we're going to go ahead and run this again in the same direction. We're going to line it up in both directions here. You get a sense of this after a while of how to line these up. You can just look at the lines on the ground. It's a dead giveaway of how to get it going. That going to that, this going to this. So the point is that it should pass through all of these and continually merge until it reaches its maximum speed of 240, and then come out of here, and then we go into the next stage, right? And then we can come back and reorganize it and readjust it and optimize it more and more down the road. But what we want to do is just kind of get it working here, where it's just kind of feeding everything toward this box. All right, and I find these boxes a great in-between spot, so it keeps your production going. Look at it go. That's cool, man. That's cool. So it keeps your production going, so it doesn't stop along the way. And let's make sure that we got all the ones in between here. Oh, there's one. This is really awkward sometimes right here. Doing this. There we go. And there we go. Now what will happen is this will build up over time so that it is then running this all out. Now, right now, we have a problem. And that problem is that this one here at the end is full, right? And then what that's doing is it's slowing down the rest of the conveyor, right? So as it comes out, it's coming out at full speed, at 270. And it's feeding all of that in there, right? Like this one right here. Look, there's some issue with the ore. And that, we have to go over here and figure out what's the issue. Oh, wait a minute. Kismet didn't put the thing in there, right? So you got to go down the line. Make sure that you have everything lined up and done. There we go. Now look at it go in there. Going in there like a boss. And that's a dead giveaway. If you look and see that there's nothing coming out there. And that's why I like to leave a little bit of a space so I can see all the way down the line that each and every one of these is producing and that each and every one is pumping this into here. Now, as this one finishes, as this one empties out the extras that it has, now that it has, it'll then start to cascade. So now this one is going to empty out what it's got. Now, I didn't have any because we didn't have it connected. We go to the next one. This one's going to start emptying out. Notice this number now going down, right? So it's going to pump all those out, and so on and so forth in the reverse of what we were doing on the other side. On the other side, the same thing is happening, but in the reverse order. It's coming down. It's pushing it into here as fast as it possibly can until it backfills with 100 iron, with 100 iron over here, raw iron, and then of course the iron ingots. And then as that one's full, it then will slow down. Won't take as much into that one, and then the next one will fill, and so on and so on and so forth. Very, very efficient, though it does. It's not working. It's not using every bit of that ore super efficiently. Like if we split it and split it and split it again, that would be incredibly efficient because we know it would exactly go in there at the exact right speed and everything would be at a consistent speed. And we've done that before, but this way is less infrastructure, a lot more optimized and less resources that we need to do it, right? And it takes up less space. Which is great because then we can build bigger and bigger factories, even though we have crazy tons of space. Crazy tons. We got that left and right. We got no problem with that. But I do like to build efficiently anyway, just because. Just because. So now we're going to go from here and we're going to go into the next thing. Now we're trying to build screws. Now we can build screws on a level that is just insane at this point because when it comes out of here, right here, it's coming out at 30. And when we go to do screws, utilizing our constructor here, the screws right here only come in at 15. So that means that we can double up on what we're doing right now. That means that we can make screws we can put 16 down. 16 of these down, and we could make that many screws. Now that's a lot of screws. I seriously doubt I'm going to need that much screws. But let's go for it. We'll see what happens. Let's see how incredibly epic that's going to be. All right, let's go ahead and push this out just a little bit more. And what we're going to do is we're going to use all this space over here. Now, hopefully I've got lots of concrete on me. I do. All right, we're going to go ahead and just fill in some of this space here. Get me back in the zone here. We're going to use a lot of this space here. I love the fact in this game that you can build real far away. This is a really super fun game, by the way. If you've never tried it before, right now in early access, it's called Satisfactory. Super, super fun game. I highly recommend it if you are a builder like me, and I am the builder's builder. I like to, visualize stuff in my head, and then, boom, go and make it happen. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to make a massive production of screws here. Now, the cool thing is, later on, if I so decide, if I stop misclicking there, I can just say, you know what? Okay, we got plenty of screws now. Let's go ahead and switch this entire production over to something else, right? And I can control what I'm making in each of those things. And I can even go in and paint them different colors to tell me that this is screws and this is this and that's that. You can adjust the whole colors of everything, which I find a brilliant idea. Very, very cool idea. And again, meanwhile, while we're doing this, it's over here cranking out tons and tons of stuff back in my primary base. I don't just let the game run, though you could just totally do that like a SimCity style simulation game, right? You could just, queue it up, say, oh, well, I'm waiting on resources. Hold on, I'm going for lunch. Then you go for lunch, you come back, boom, you got tons of resources that allow you to get to the next level, which is a lot of fun. But we're going to get into it here. Now, builders got to build. Artists got to create. Musicians got to play. You know what I'm talking about. It's not that you choose to. It's that you're compelled to. that you need to. It's got to happen. That's how some people are in life. I'm that type of person. I'm that way about building, about being an artist, about playing games, that kind of stuff. I follow those passions in my life. And right now, we're about to build a massive structure. Let's get to it. All right, boom. And again, we're going to make 16 of these. And we're going to use our cascade structure and see how that works out. We're just going to put them all in an insane row here. I've already lost count. Already lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 7, 8. There we go. All right. You're like, well, Kismet, you said you were going to do 16. I am. Now, here's the smart thing to do, right? You go in, you make it easy on yourself math-wise. If I keep going, first, it's going away from where I want to go. I want to go over that way, right? So what I need to do is I need to think about, okay, first, how do I want to go in? And then how do I want it to come back out again? Right? So I could go in and run this straight across like this and have it run way over there. But then I got to run it all the way back. So I'm thinking of resources. The smarter thing to do is to stack it front to front, right? So this all will recombine again because it'll come out at 15 as well. Or I mean, it'll come out at a higher rate than 15. Sorry, it'll come out at 90. So we got to work with that as well, right? Because it's going to go into 15, but 90 is how it's going to come out. We're going to have so many screws, going to fill up stuff like that, right? We're going to have basically an infinite amount of screws here in a moment. So we need to control what we're doing there. And again, our whole purpose, right? You always want to think of the end and work your way backwards. Our whole purpose right now is to currently make the computers that we need to go to the next level of our upgrades. And once we have that doing it automatically, we just come over here, pick them up, and we're good, right? Right now, we need circuit boards, which we've already got going. We need plastic, and we need cables, and we need screws. Now, right now, we can see that we've got our cables coming in, looking good. Right here, we can see our circuit boards going in, and we've got our plastic lined up and ready to go. We had a whole box full of it there. Very, very nice. So the only thing that we have left are screws. Now, eventually, what I want to do, of course, these screws right now are 112. Eventually, what I want to do is I want to have multiple of these going at the same time, right? I want to try to have 3 of these going. In theory, based on what I've already created, I can do about 3 of them. So, but let's get one going, and then we'll work on the other 2 later, right? Because once I get this one going, those allow me to build more, and they start to compound, right? And you know how I love compound things, like compound interest and things like that. That's how you make games beg to your mercy. That's how you control the games. That's how you crush those games. Now, over here, look at this. Got so much wire over there, I'm not even using it. We'll come back to it. But as you can see, this is what we're going to do. So we need to visualize that in our head. We also need to visualize the fact that we're going to need some room, because we're going to have to run multiple combiners here. So if we say, okay, 90 times what equals 240 or 270. 270 is the current maximum speed that we can go with our stuff. So we say, okay, we're going to go ahead and take, let's see, we're going to take times here. There we go. Let's take 90 and let's times it, or actually we just divide it. We'll take 270 up here. And I got this in my spreadsheet. I don't have to worry about it. So we'll take 270 divided by 90, which is 3. All right, that means that 3 of these we can combine and it will still go efficiently at the maximum level, right? So we should think about that right now. We should not build the rest of it first. You want to work in stages, right? Because otherwise you have to come back and redo and redo and redo. So always work in stages. And I always think of the end and work backwards. So I got to get this to run into my computers. How do I do that? Well, I've got to make so many of these, and I've got to run the line to it. And then before that, I've got to recombine it so it's just running in a single line as opposed to running multiple lines at the same time, running it all over the place, and so on. And then I've got to, supply it and so on and so forth backwards. So here, what we want to do is we want to combine 3 of these. And you're like, Kismet, I don't like doing all the math. Well, just make a spreadsheet, and you're good. That's what I do. I mean, I can do the math. I mean, once you can do something, there's no reason to prove that you can do it again, right? Great. The same thing with, like, 3D animation. Oh, I got to turn it. The same thing with, like, 3D animation, with doing graphics and animation anymore. I don't need to prove to anybody. I was only proving it to myself anyway. that I can do those things. I know I can. I know I can sit there and do animations and do graphic design, all that stuff. But I can also pay someone else to do it, so I have more time to do other things, right? To focus on things that I would rather do than to sit there and design stuff, though I do love to design stuff. But there's only so many minutes in the day, so you have to be smart about that as well. All right. Now, you're going to see something happen while we're doing this that I already know is going to happen and that we're going to address here in just a second. So, all right, here's another merger. Go ahead and put those mergers together. We're going to merge these three together. Oh, if we have more stuff. We might have to go back and get some more. We might have to flip it over back to making these. Let's go take a look. Now, we've got our big old vehicle here nope, I apparently do not need to run back because I was smart enough to leave a ton of those behind. All right, awesome. So let's get to it. And again, right now, working with the MK3 or the 270 belt. There we go. Nice. And now I'm just working with the highest level belt, right? Now, before what I was doing is I was using a belt that was balanced based on what it was, right? So it's coming out at 90 or 270 or whatever. But in this layout, I'm just using the highest speed belt and building out as many as I can that will eventually equal that number. So in this case, I'm building out 8 of these so that eventually they will meet that number. Now, if it's coming out at 90, we can combine it in groups of 3, right? So notice how when you first start off, you're combining in halves, right? In twos, right? You're doing 1, and then you're doing 2s, and then now we're doing 3s, and eventually, the math starts to go like that. You're in halves, you're in thirds, you're in fourths, you're in fifths. And I find that's like the secret to the entire game. If you understand that that's how a lot of this works, halves and thirds and fourths, then boom, you're good. You can do anything and everything you want to do, and your efficiency will be incredible. Now, look what happened here, right? See, now we got 2 that are just kind of by themselves. So that's why I wanted to do this first, so I could see that problem, and then basically put them together in groups of 3. So now I want to go ahead and extend this a little bit, just to make this nice and efficient. Instead of just doing 8, which is a nice even number, we're going to do this in thirds, which is going to equal 9 over here. And we're going to add another one right here at the end. Again, this is the stuff I love to discover about games. I feel like the more you have a handle on those game mechanics, the more and more fun it gets. Because you're like, oh, yeah, now I can do this. And oh, if I do that with the other thing and this thing, and then boom, I rule. You get to the moment where you rule. Right now, I'm ruling this game. This game's going to be begging for mercy for me. Now, again, if I had a lot more time, I would sit here and build just gigantic bases. But for right now, we're going to go with that. All right, so we'll recombine that. Now, we cannot combine anymore. The reason why is the fact that we do not have the belt speed to combine this again. So what we want to do is we want to put this into some boxes because this is going to fill up those boxes super, super quick. So what we want to do is kind of run them in a storage, and we want to run them toward our thing over here, right? Toward our thing that way. So the best thing to do is to put those boxes out here on the side and recombine them over here because we're going to do this obviously again as it's coming out with those screws and then run all those down and so on. So we need to think about that as well. So I'm not going to put the box down yet. We'll do that later. But we're going to work from the left side and we're going to work this way to try to line all this up. And what we'll do is we'll end up with 1 less because we did 9 and of course 8 plus 8 is 16. What we did is we did 9, so we're going to end up with 7 over here. Now, of course, you can just think of the number 7 and divide it by 3 and know that it's not going to come out perfectly mathematically correct, right? It's not going to equal exactly what you want, but such is the way it goes, right? We're going to have some extra stuff to deal with. So we're going to go ahead and bring this out. Now that we have an idea of the spacing, let's say we'll bring it out to here. Now, again, we got to run this out of here. And we got to run it that way. Now, the first thing I would do, of course, is start to lift this stuff, right? Because this way, you don't have to run over it all the time. So you got 1 here, past this one, and then say 1 past this one, and let's raise this one up. And then down here, we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to have 3, right? For each of these combiners. So this one here, we'll say this one is the first level. That one's going to go there. Going to run across at the first level. And we're going to keep it going. Good evening, Kismet. Thanks for being in there. How long has Kiz been? It been, Kiz, that I followed you about 4 years, right? Oh, exclamation point followage, man. In the chat. Hey, Kismet. Missed you last night. Hope you had a relaxing time off. Why do people think I actually have time off? I don't know. I don't ever have time off, but thank you. Yes, I do take a little bit of time with my wife and family. We went out to eat and hung out, and then I went and picked up that chocolate from the P.O. box. If you want to send me something, by the way, feel free to send it to my P.O. box. It is always fun to get little surprises from time to time. There you go. Hey, Johnny Pick. Oh, I think I already said. Josie Klein coming in. 3 years and 29 days and 19 hours. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for that surprise. There's an alternative recipe using ignits to make screws. Yes, I have already got that recipe. I have got that recipe already did. We just learned that, by the way. I think last time or time before. Again, remember to always check those chat rules when you go into somebody's stream. Make sure to say, watch out for things like backseat gaming, where you say, hey, hey, you can do this, or you can do that thing, or hey, or even worse, go do this thing, go do that thing. Because, you might spoil the game for someone who is like me, who likes to discover stuff along the way. But I understand where you're coming from. You're just coming in trying to say, hey, Kismet, I've got your back and all of that. I appreciate that. But always should check those chat rules. I do appreciate you guys coming in. Now, we're going to look at our problem here. Right here. See, we already got a problem, right? You're like, Kismet, you can't do that, right? You can't do that because it's intersecting the other one, right? And then the same thing down at the end. So we actually need, again, to work backwards, very much like you think a lot of things you do in life. Now, of course, I've had the benefit of being a graphic designer for over 25 years. I've done hundreds of thousands of projects. I don't even know if you can visualize that in your head. That is a lot of projects because I basically worked 30 years in my 20s because I worked all the time, and I absolutely loved every minute of every second of doing graphic design. And if I could do it at the level I did it before, I'd probably still be doing it, but I only do it for myself now. So if you're going, Kismet, can you do some graphic design for me? I don't do it, but there's a lot of fantastic graphic designers out there. I would seek them out. They are trying to earn their wings. They're trying to get their real life achievements. I've got thousands of them, so I don't I don't need to get any more real life achievements, though I still seek them out anyway. Partner broadcaster here on Twitch, and so on and so forth. All right, so now we need to have this cascading. Now, what we want to do is we want to get this one up to the top. This one is actually going to be the middle one, and then this one, of course, is going to be the bottom one, right? Because we need to think about that ahead of time, like so. And then this up to here. There we go. And then that'll be the middle one. And then what do we got to do over here? Well, we got to get this one all the way up to the top here. And of course, there's about 100 different ways of doing exactly what I'm doing, but this is the way I'm choosing to do it. Now, it's your world. You can do it however you want. That's what's really cool. Now, if you're new to my stream, again, my name is Kismet. Blind Cheese coming in. Thank you so much. Appreciate that follow. Thank you for dropping the dragon hammer, crushing that follow button, becoming part of the Wasteland Tycoons up in here. So if you're new to my stream, again, my name is Kismet. I'm a partner broadcaster here on Twitch. I have had lots of fun playing lots of games, probably most known for Fallout. I love building games. I love RPG games. I love MMOs. I love fantasy games. I love space games. In fact, I just plain love games. That's just the way it is. And I'm the old school gamer. I'm the OG, the original gamer, not the original gangster, the original gamer from back in the day. That's right. I've been playing games since before most people were alive. Very unapologetic gamer as well. Back in my day, people were like, you play games, and they still do it today. Oh, you play games. Oh, you do. Yeah, that's right. I do. I enjoy every second of it, and I'll continue to do so until the day I die, because you know what? I answer to no one. I'm high level in real life. So there you go. And you know what? It doesn't matter what level you are in real life. No, you answer to no one. You can do whatever you want. You can like whatever music you want. You can dance. You can sing. Even if you're not good at those things, it's okay. Forget about everybody else and them telling you who you should be. You be the amazing person that you are. You come into my channel, I'm going to show you some love. You just be you, right? Go to it. Go to it, just be you. Now, of course, it's your life decisions. They're all on you. Make them some good ones. Make up some really good ones. All right, so there we go. Look at, just imagine all of those screws coming out of there. I can see it in my head already of those suckers coming out of there at maximum speed. It's going to be epic. Now over here, we're in our second row. And again, the reason why you want to do this and build up this infrastructure fairly quickly is because you need to space out your next row, right? And when you're running your raw materials down this way, try not to fall into the water again. When you're running your raw materials all the way down here and feeding these, of course, you're going to need to feed it around and then be able to feed it down the line. Now, I feel like it's a little close. I don't like, there's plenty of space in this game. One of the big mistakes I did when I first started playing Satisfactory is I was putting stuff way too close, right? I'm trying to crowd it all together. You don't need to do that, especially when you first start playing. Give it a little space. You can come back and optimize it more and more later. It's okay. And of course, this is my 4th playthrough. I have gotten to the highest tiers before, but we're trying to work on more and more optimization. We're exploring more, doing all of that fun stuff. We need a splitter there along the way and trying different techniques that we haven't tried before. And I find that's my favorite thing of any game is the discovery, right? Is the adventure and taking a journey to learn stuff along the way. And I take you guys along with me. And of course, you guys get to learn all the cool stuff I learn along the way. And I find that is pretty much life, right? You either learn the hard way, right? Or you learn from other people's mistakes. And I'm going to make a bunch of them up here. I'm going to fail. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to do things wrong. And that's okay. I give myself the freedom. And it took me a long time to learn this. Give myself the freedom both in-game and in life to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, no matter how much they try to convince you they haven't. They were all babies at some point. They all had somebody else had to take care of them, and they had to learn to walk and dress themselves and so on and so forth. Don't let them convince you that they're perfect. Nobody is. Nobody is. We all share in one global thing that humans are greatly imperfect. They're not just a little imperfect. They're greatly imperfect in all things. So that's what's great about being a human being. We can do whatever we want. Of course, do positive things in life, right? Do good things in life that help other people. That's what I try to do every minute of every day. Right now, trying to help my mods get to TwitchCon as I do every single year. I've got that bar right up there, and look at that. We are 45 days left. Now, if you learn something here in stream, if you laugh, if you cry, if you have fun, if I make you smile, if I make you inspired to go do what you love to do every single day, please consider, now remember it's never required, but please consider donating to get my mods at TwitchCon. They're going to have a fantastic time and also be your ambassadors at TwitchCon where they go around, collect a ton of epic loot, and then I'm going to send some of it to you. I know, pretty cool, right? Pretty cool, because that's what we do here in the stream. Not only do we help others, but we also help you help yourself to some fun and epic loot. And I give away a lot of stuff here on stream. Did I put those all wrong? I think I feel like I just put all those splitters wrong because I was chatting. That's what happens. See, you start not focused. You're not focused, and then this is what happens. It's okay. Like, man, I just called that, didn't I? I just said, hey, I'm going to make a bunch of mistakes, and then I just made some. Right? There you go. I was foreshadowing right there. All right, we have to aim it in the right direction so that it's going down the line. All right, let's try that again. There we go. Now we see it's coming in on the orange side, going out on the green side. We need to run it in this direction so that it is running all the way down the back of the line. And then once you have it in the right direction, then you're good to go. Again, that is a fun thing to just give yourself that freedom. And man, does it take a lot of weight off your shoulders. So for some reason, at some point in your life, whether it's you're young or as you get older, you become an adult or whatever, people are going to start expecting you to be perfect, even though nobody is. And somehow they're like, oh, well, you made this mistake. Well, why don't I just rub it in your face for the whole rest of your life, right? You know those people. You know those people. Come on, put a one in the chat. Have you ever had any people like that in your life who come in and just act like they're perfect and say, hey, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. You know what's right for you. You know what's right for you. Try to do something positive in the world. Be kind to others. You know, what they do is on them. But what you do, that's on you. Right? How people treat me, that's not my problem. That's their problem. How I treat them, that's me. And that's all me. Right? No matter what they're doing, it's all on me how I treat others. And that's the way I look at it. So I try to do kind things for others. And I find it always comes back to you anyway. It always comes back to you in amazing ways that you probably never even thought of along the way. We all share in that all over the world. Billions of people share in that experience every single day. Whether people are being kind to them or whether people are being disrespectful and treating them like a non-complex person, which is very, very sad when people do that. People are infinitely complex. They can't just put them in this little box and say, oh, you're this, right? No. People have a lot of different facets to them, a lot of different pieces and parts of who they are. So I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. I don't care about your background. I don't care about any of that. The only thing I care about is how you treat people, because that's the ultimate thing in life anyway. That's what you carry with you forever. And my stream is all about that positivity, about inspiring you in your day to go out there and do something that you love, right? I'm living proof right here. 4 years ago, I started my journey as a streamer. A year and a half before that, I was disabled, in the bed, couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything. I don't play a character here on stream like some of these other streamers. This is the real me. This is Kismet right here. If you meet me at TwitchCon, this is the guy you will meet. I'm not going to put on some, like I'm a secret agent or whatever fancy character. I might look like the Wasteland Tycoon, though. But there you go. That's just a little bit of fun cosplay for my community. But I try to say it like it is, right? I don't BS people. I don't, try to manipulate people or, go around people's back and all of that stuff. There's enough of that in the world. I don't need to contribute to that. That's for sure. But there's not enough, and I find it's really odd when you do kind things for other people that they almost go, wait a minute, why are you doing that, right? Like you have some ulterior motive, right? Like I've had my mod Nushki say to me before, when I was raising funds last year, I spent over 600 hours last year raising funds for my mods to go to TwitchCon, and she said, well, why would you do that? And I thought to myself, why wouldn't I do that? Right? Why wouldn't you do kind things for other people? That's what you should be doing. It's not why wouldn't you? Why would you? It should be why wouldn't you do it? That's the thing. That's the thing in life. People have become so mean to each other that when you do kind things for other people, it is like weird. It's odd. Why is this person doing this? What is their motive? What is their thing? I don't have ulterior motives. I'm at a point. I've been dodging the Reaper for the last 5 years. I don't need to have ulterior motives. I just do what I love to do every day. And that is a rare thing that people get to do. A lot of people, they got to work in a factory. They got to work in a coal mine. They got to work at McDonald's. They got to work at Walmart just to get by every day. And if you can find a little bit of joy in your life and collect those moments of joy, it fills you up inside. I'm telling you. A lot of people in the world are empty inside. They feel desperate and sad and alone. And know that you're not the only one. There's literally billions of other people in this world who feel exactly that same way. And I would reach out to peeps. I would reach out if you're feeling that way. There's a lot of fantastic organizations out there. There's a lot of places out there who can and want to help. I want to help with that. Just know, I think the worst thing about being a human being is that feeling of you're the only one. If you're the only one who feels that way, or the only one that happens to, or the only one that gets bullied or picked on or treated poorly, you're really not. Nearly every single person ever has that problem, right? And you're like, well, all the good-looking people and all the pretty people and the celebrities and all of them, they don't have that problem. Oh, yeah, they do. All of those people have that problem. You know, the funny thing about people who are really pretty, that sometimes they're very isolated because people are afraid to approach them. Did you know that? That's a wonderful thing that I discovered. And sometimes, it doesn't really matter what you look like. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter if you're tall or skinny or, whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is how you treat people. That's what I feel anyway. Now, of course, it's just my opinion. It's all on you. What the next steps are all on you and what you want to do in your life. For me, the minutes I've got left, I'm going to spend it doing what I love to do. I'm going to spend it here streaming. I'm going to spend it here hanging out with you guys and spending time with my family and collect moments of joy until my very last moment. That's it. That's all. That's my big ambition now in my life is to build things up to a point where I can just do kind things all the time for other people, which is what I'm doing here on stream. I take every single dime and I put it right back in the stream. I am not included in that bar up there, by the way. How am I going to play for my TwitchCon? Well, that's a next year problem. This year, we're going to get my mods there And next year we'll figure out how we're going to pay for mine. And usually what I do is all donations, next year goes into the, paying off Kismet's TwitchCon fund. And, again, I never require anybody to donate. You don't have to even hit the follow button. You don't have to do anything. You can come in, lurk in my channel all you want. I'm not going to be that person who says, hey, you're leeching off my... Oh, my. Oh, man, I don't know who is that unappreciative of all the people that got to where they are. They can at least acknowledge how wonderful it is that, you get to do what you love to do every day, right? And there's nothing wrong with getting paid to do what you love to do, right? I've been a graphic designer 25 years. Well, the second somebody pays you, that's when you're a professional at what you do. You're like, Kismet, you're talking a lot today. Well, I think you guys understand these mechanics that I'm doing right here. I don't think I need to talk to these mechanics again. So we're just going to chat a little bit while we're doing this. There's a lot of building here. So, seek out those moments of joy and collect them. When I was young, I made a lot of money. And all I cared about was money and myself. That's it. How can I make money and how can I get stuff for myself? And I've had expensive things and yada yada. And you're like, Kismet, you're bragging. I don't care about that stuff anymore. I don't care about ego. I don't care about how you look at me and say, oh, well, Kismet is the biggest and the best and whatever. You know what? Nobody cares, really. And if they do care, if they only care about that, I would red flag that in a second. If people only want to be around me because of what I can do for them, or if I have money or whatever, because I've had lots of money. I mean, I've gone out and spent like $1,000 a week for years, right? Like it was nothing, because I was young and dumb and didn't realize that, not everybody makes that kind of money, because I was lucky, because I happened to be a graphic designer and a person who knew about the computer right at the apex in the moment where those two things came together. And then, of course, I'm the one with the skills, no one else with those skills. So I'm getting paid the big money, right? That's what you want to find in your life. You want to find that moment where they need you more than you need them. That's when you're really starting to make the big money there. But you know what? If you're not enough without those things, like right now, I'm rubbing the pennies together. I spent all of my retirement, my wife's retirement, everything, trying not to die. And trying not to be trapped in the bed for the whole rest of my life. Because that's where I was going. My doctors basically told me to lay down and die, and I told them to go screw themselves. I said, I don't think so. That's not the way I go out. Got up, lost 50 pounds, started taking care of myself, learned to deal with my conditions every day. Now, did my conditions go away? Did my sleep apnea and vertigo go away? No, never going to go away. I am basically disabled. It'll never go away ever. And you have to live with that. Now what you do? Now what you do when you can barely get around? When you can't drive your car? When you can barely walk down the hallway? What do you do then? How do you do it? Now, of course, I've got my wife, who I've been with for 26 years, and my family, and all of them to back me up in those tough times. And you may not have those people. If you need people like that, there are billions of them out there. Billions. You got to think. Billions of people on this planet, right? There are a lot of people out there who are empathetic to whatever you're going through. So please seek them out, right? Seek them out before, before taking any drastic actions in any other ways, right? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Getting real heavy in the stream today. Getting a little heavy today, right? Everybody in the chat? But I worry about you. I care about you as well. And, that's not a hollow thing. I do care about other people. That's what's really tough in life, too. Because everybody would rather step on your face than be kind to you. And I don't know where that comes from. I don't know why that is. Why we evolved to a point where we would rather just be mean to each other than to look after each other. Now, there's a lot of great people out there, too. A lot of people who will look after you. A lot of people who got your back. You know who they are. Those few people who aren't fair weather friends. The people who will be there for you when you need them most. You know who they are. I know you do. You're thinking about them right now. Yeah. There we go. So sometimes we get a little talky up here in the chat. But I'm playing the game at the same time. We do have some fun. This is easy mode stuff here. We're just merging like we did just a second ago. This is just rinse and repeat. Right? Merging this one into here. Now look at this one. See, this is the oddball one, right? This is the oddball one here at the end. Oh, I should have turned it the other way. This is the oddball one. Air conditioner still going? Yeah. Whew, it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. Yeah, and again, that's what when you're a streamer like me, or you're a personality or something. Not that I'm like a big personality or whatever. I got my little tiny part of Twitch here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it big time. I appreciate all the kind people who've come in my stream and said amazing, kind things over the years. There's always those people who try to tear you down. Forget those people. Forget those people. They are in a crisis of their own issues that they need to deal with on their own, right? That's not your problem. It ain't your problem. So again, if you need a little positivity in your day, you need a little bit of love, you know where to go. Come on in here. There's lots of amazing people hanging out on my channel. Feel free to say hello in the chat. We'll actually say hi back to you because we care if you're here or not. I appreciate you being here. Take that out. What do we got here? Oh, we got a lot of stuff over here. Let's see if we can find something to get these containers going on. We're going to need a bunch of these for sure. We need 45 of those, and we need a bunch of steel pipe. How much steel pipe did we bring? Let's see. Let's look right over here. Apparently not enough. Let's go ahead and put this back in here. We'll go ahead and sort that. Let's see. So we need a bunch of steel pipes and industrial beams. We might have to make a trip back here. We're getting to a point where we can almost take this out here. Oops. I didn't mean to take it out. I meant to take it out here in a minute, but whatever. Whatevers. All right, let's take out all this stuff we're not using right now. In fact, let's just say store all. There we go. I hate these little boxes. I don't like those boxes laying around. I don't mind putting my little red boxes around, but I hate those boxes laying around. All right. Now, when I empty them out, I take them out. Because you can always just put them right back down again if you need them. But I like to take them out, and that tells me, okay, I got all my resources in one place. Now I'm good. And I like to keep a lot of stuff here in the back of this so we can utilize that. All right, so we've got this. We need 45. We have 6. Let's see what else we can make here. Let's see. Let's go to the craft bench. I wonder if it takes stuff from the actual... we got 21 on us. Does it take stuff out of the actual vehicle? No, it doesn't use the... See, that's one of the things I think it should use. It should use whatever's in the vehicle also in the crafting bench, right? That would be awesome. Because then you can just put it in the crafting bench and then you don't have to carry it all on you. Well, such is the way it goes. Such is the way it goes. I'm sure they'll get around to it. Keep this going over there. All right. Let's see what else. What else we got here? We need to make engaged industrial. What do we need? We need a ton of concrete. Well, that we have. So again, it'd be nice if we just did it right from the thing where we don't have to, you know, go ahead and pull all this stuff out every time. That would be nice. That would be my suggestion. There we go. All right, let's craft this up. Let's see if we can get 4 to 5 of these going. I'm not sure if I have enough coal at this location, but let's go. How many of these can we make? 64. All right, well, we got that. Now, we also need to get these encased industrial beams going so that it's making a ton of those. We want it to be making a bunch of these resources as we're going up and up the tiers. And then as we go to the next tier, then a lot of the resources we needed from a previous tier, like plates or rods and stuff like that, we don't necessarily need those. Sometimes we do. Sometimes you still need those beginning resources in the higher level stuff, depending on what you're making. So we're going to go ahead and make this ourselves. That'd probably be something else we'll try to get done today, and that is trying to get our encased industrial beams going so we don't have to make them manually. We're going to need to find a concrete node, a coal node, and an iron node. Oh, there we go. Okay, we made a bunch. There we go. Okay, steel pipe. All right, what do we need for steel pipe over here? We need a lot of steel ignet and then coal. Now, I don't think we have any coal on us. No, we have a lot of iron right now and iron ignets. We're going to need some coal. I think it's time for go for a little ride. Let's go. Now, I feel like actually we probably got a ton of these back at our base. Probably help if we put some fuel in here. That's going to be super useful. Let's put some fuel in there. There we go. I love the cars in this game, by the way. Incredibly good. Incredibly well made. And like, Kismet, wait a minute. That isn't your base? Nope. That's just a satellite base. That's a little baby base. That's just a little baby. Hey, what's up? There we go. Lots of ones in the chat. Hey, the Viking Beard. Wait. You sure that's not a costume? Welcome, Viking Beard. Welcome to the stream. Everybody show Viking Beard some love in the chat. Sometimes I get focused. Sorry about that in the chat, everybody. Just joined the stream and glad to see Kismet as always is giving heartfelt advice. I do. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to deceive you. I'm not going to cheat you or do all of that stuff that sadly way too many people have to experience in their life. I'm just going to be me, right? Because I don't have to be anybody else. I don't have to be, you know, the secret agent or Mr. Special, this, that, and the other thing. I just be me, right? Because that's the only person you're going to be anyway. I mean, you can pretend to be somebody else, but you're only going to be you in the end, right? And you're just amazing just the way you are anyway. You're amazing who you are now, right? By the way, the older you get, you still feel the same you do when you're 20, right? You just get a little wiser, get a little smarter, might see life from different perspectives the older you get. You might shake off some of those things that you did when you're young that you look back and go, man, I sure was a jerk when I was younger. And I was. I suffered from only caring about myself. And I spent a lot of time acquiring things. And, you know, I bought expensive things and big deal. I'm just fine without those things. I'm just fine just doing what I love to do every day. That's the hardest thing to do in life. The hardest thing is to get to do what you enjoy every day. And just collect so many moments of joy that it just fills you up inside. That's a tough thing. I almost went off the side there. You see, everyone's like, Kismet, going off the side. That's a standard Kismet stream, falling off the side and all sorts of craziness happening to you. That's a standard one. All right. Let's go in here yet again. Let's fill this back up again. And we need a bunch of these things. So we could go and we could get coal and we could get all of that. In fact, I feel like I should just pull out all of this ore out of here because I could get tons of it again over there. And we're going to run over here and see if we've got our stuff running into here. Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah, all filled up again. All filled up nicely. All right, so we're running that into here, and that's almost full. So we're good there. And let's see, that's coming down there, and we need to eventually run it back that way again so we can continue our production over there. And let's try to remember which one of these lines was our run over here. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's that one. All right, now here's the cool thing. If you've set this up right, you can switch between one type of thing and another type of thing. Like right now, you can see we're doing a lot of these. We're doing a bunch of the steel beams here, which we need, of course, for our conveyor belts and building stuff. We have plenty of that now. So now we can say, wait a minute, okay, we're good with that. Let's go ahead and switch this all back to the other thing we were doing. Because right now, this is not going very efficiently. We can go ahead and switch this back to steel pipes. And then this one's going to switch back to steel pipes. And so on. And this is something I didn't do before. I kept building stuff for every single thing. Right? And you don't necessarily need every single thing at every single moment this early in the game. Later you will. You'll need every type of everything. But this early in the game, you can go ahead and just use the same production. Uses less power to produce different items. Right? And you can see now it's coming through to here. But actually, I don't want to go through there. I actually want to go ahead and divert to this one. Right? And this is the one that I used before. And it has a whole different conveyor. And it goes in a whole different direction than this one. So we're going to go ahead and take this out. And we're going to redirect this. We can. How do we get that? We can just run it around. All right, let's just run it around. Let's say right there. Oh, no concrete on me. It's always something. I'm telling you, it's always something. Oh, these are empty. Take those out. I'm always forgetting something, and I always got to run back and grab something. This is not over there. Let's run back and grab a little concrete. You're going to do this a lot in this game. You're going to just be constantly going and doing things. Look at the computer's building up over there. And you're like, Kismet, it's too complex. It's too much. I don't understand all of that. Everything was built one piece at a time, right? And one thing at a time was built. You could easily do this as you learn more and more about the game mechanics, right? Easily. Easily go in and see. You've noticed I've piped all of my stuff right by my hub. I learned that last time that I was running all over the place, back and forth and back and forth. Instead of me running back and forth, I have it all centralized in one spot, and I keep about a box full of whatever it is I need at the time so that I can come back and utilize it. Now this over here, I think, is empty. Yep, all right, so we take that out. And you know what? We'll go ahead and take that out, and we'll move that back a little bit, so that'll remind us next time when we want to go ahead and use that again. So we'll move it a bit over there. There we go. And then let's see what conveyor belt we're using here. Just the standard conveyor belt, so we'll use that. And we'll leave that there. So in the future, when we need more of those other things, we'll do that. But we'll create our own separate line for those eventually. Now we got to do a little bit of math. Let's do it. All right, so this is coming out of here at 15. Right? And basically, you just want to add. There's 15 pipes coming out of that one. 15 pipes coming out of that one. 2 15s equal a 30. This is 30 here. Same thing over there. 2 15s equal a 30. 30 is 60. And so that means that the fastest this is... Holy jeez! Pancakes coming in with a $10 dodo. Made me jump. Holy mackerel. Bringing the lightning. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You never know who needs to hear that message. Speaking from heart can touch people when they need it. Yes. I'm telling you, the power of being kind to people is really, really incredible. I have literally had thousands and thousands of people come in my channel and say, thank you, Kismet. I appreciate your kind words and your positivity in here. Got a hangover. Uh-oh. Speaking of tough times. Sorry to hear that, Skelly Cat Gaming. I'll try to... How about I can do a little ASMR for you. Hello. You've got a headache? No, it's too creepy. I'm not an ASMR kind of dude. It creeps myself out when I do ASMR. That's not my thing. But hey, if it's your thing, more power to you, right? I'm not here to tell you who you are. But for me, that's just too creepy. Hey, Pancakes, thanks for that love, man. Appreciate you coming in. Why do you not have the alternate recipe for screws? I do have it. I do have it, Skelly Cat Gaming. But that's okay. I don't need to use it right this second. I do have the screws, and I do have other things too, but we haven't got to that yet. See, when I'm building stuff, I like to do stuff, and then I take people kind of on a journey, right? I do take them on a journey every single time. So I take people on a journey, and what we do is we learn stuff along the way. And right now, we're learning how to combine and do all that stuff and readjust our stuff to go the other way. That's why. I don't just go, hey, everybody, look, I went right to the, I rushed to the top of the game. Look, fast, fast, fast. Okay, finished. Right? Because it makes your journey in a game like this, right? When you just rush to the end, right? You're like, I'm just going to rush to the end. Whoop! There went your journey, and there went your money, too. Especially when you play games. Of course, it's your game. You can do whatever you want. For me, I don't rush. I don't rush and say, look at me, I'm the best ever was, and all of that. I have nothing to prove to other people. I find a lot of people who do that kind of thing and say, hey, do this or do that. This is the way you're supposed to do it, right? Are either coming from one or two places. A lot of people are just, hey, Kismet, I got your back. Hey, you should do this, man. And I appreciate that. But occasionally you've run into them before. Occasionally you'll run into people who have like a chip on their shoulder, right? They got to prove they're a man. They got to prove that they're smarter than everybody else. I find that is always the end is always a fail. Because what happens is you make the other person feel dumb. You make the other person feel like they're stupid or like they're, like it's a put down. I never like to do that. I never like to do that to peeps. I just say, look, we're going on a journey. We're going to learn stuff along the way. But I appreciate you guys coming in, giving me those tips and suggestions along the way. And we just learned about that. We just learned about opening up and getting the hard drives and putting that in there. Because, again, I like to take the journey. I like to learn stuff along the way. I find the discovery part of games to be the best part of games. That's where it's at. That's the exciting point, is the moments of joy that you collect. You go, oh, okay. Oh, man. Red Dirt Ledge coming in with a sweet, sweet love right now. Show some love in here. It's time for some celebration up in here, everybody. Let's go. Where's my celebration? Come on, I know you're in there. Where'd you go? I gotta find it. There it is. Getting the dad dance. Don't be afraid to dance. Don't be afraid to sing, even if you're not good at it. One of the great examples that I have about that is I go to the father-daughter dance. I have 3 daughters. 4 Girl Scouts, right? And I go to the father-daughter dance, and I see so many daughters hanging out, dancing, without any fathers. And I'm like, why are they not dancing with their children? And a lot of them are like, well, I don't dance and whatever. I just come here, my kids can dance and whatever. You know what? It doesn't matter if you can dance or not. The only thing that matters is that you danced with your child. And I'm a terrible dancer. I'm the worst. But I still go out there and dance with my daughters. And I have vertigo now. So even worse, right? When you're doing the hokey pokey and you're putting your heads in, I don't put my head in because I'll go whoo, right to the ground, right? You still got to spend that time, right? That's the most important thing about that. If you don't realize that it's not about you with your children, then you got a problem. It's not about you. It's about you spending time with them, right? That's all they want, is you to spend time with them. And sometimes you got to be strong, right? When they give you a little attitude and you're like, no, that's not how it's going to be. You don't talk to me that way ever, right? I don't talk to you that way. You don't talk to me that way. I don't care if your friends do that to their parents. You don't do that to me. You treat me with respect. I treat you with respect. That's the way it goes, right? And you try to instill that in your kids, right? And it doesn't go right every single time. Sometimes, most of the time it does. My kids are pretty awesome. But sometimes, time out, bro. Sit over there and think about it. Sit over there and think about it. And then, after they get out of timeout, they got to apologize. And that's the hardest thing to do in life, right? Admit your mistakes. I made a mistake. My bad. Right? You know how many things go wrong in the world every day? Because people just can't say, my bad. I made a mistake. Just think of it. Just think of the scale in the world. Billions of people. Just the enormity of that. Sometimes I think about that, the enormity of all of the things that are going wrong in the world just because people can't say, I made a mistake, my bad. And then other people can't just go, no problem, man. We understand. You're human. You make mistakes, right? Such is the world, right? Such is the world. I try to change that little by little here in my channel. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to admit to your mistakes. If you got a bunch of people around you who make you feel like you can't be imperfect, then you don't want to be around those people anyway. They ain't doing you no good. Ain't no good. That's a red flag. If people come around me and say, Kismet, you should be doing this, and you should be doing that, I don't need to be doing nothing. I answer to no one. I already been there, done that, bro. I don't need to do nothing. If people are telling you what you should do, now if your parents are trying to guide you and trying to tell you, or your grandparents or whoever it is that are raising you, if you're a bit younger, then you probably want to listen to that because you get those lessons for free, right? You get that for free. Otherwise, you got to feel the pain and the suffering and all of that you got to go through. I personally like to learn by other people's mistakes, right? So I listen to peeps. Now, of course, you can always say, take a grain of salt and say, that's not right for me. That's okay. That's okay. But, those are the people who should be there for you, right? Giving you the smart road, the smart direction to take. At least that's what I think, right? Of course, it's your life. Your decisions are all on you. I just throw out, some suggestions and whatnot here on the street.
The call.
Oh, look out! Another donation. That first donation, I forgot to read the first one. It said, much love, my friend. Great advice. Class act. Thank you, Red Dirt Ranch. Thank you so much on behalf of my mods. Remember, all of those donations are going directly to them to get them to TwitchCon. And, of course, the higher you go up in that donation ranking, the more cool stuff you get. Now, hopefully, Red Dirt Ranch and everybody, Pancakes, you have sent me your address so I can send you the 2019 Kismet loot drop. If you are at the level where you're going to get a signed t-shirt from TwitchCon, that's right. I'm going to take a Kismet t-shirt. Not this one. This is Nitrato. I'm going to take a Kismet t-shirt to TwitchCon. And I'm going to have my mods, those peeps right there, run around and get your shirt signed. Not only by me and my mods, but I mean anybody who's at TwitchCon. I mean, you're like, hey, Kismet, go get me Shroud. Go get me, Tim the Tat Man. We will try very hard. Now, there's no guarantee, because obviously they may not be there. They may be busy, whatever it is. But we will try very, very hard. We will be your ambassadors at TwitchCon. We'll go around, get some swag. We'll send you, one or two things. I don't know, depending on how much we get. As well as, of course, I'll send you stuff from my sponsors. Kismet Candy Bars. Right over here. And you're like, wait a minute. Do you make your own candy bars, Kismet? No, this is my awesome sponsor, Phasure. Now, again, this is a community thing. this is thanks to the community, right? All my epic people, thank you everybody who are watching also around the world, not just in the U.S., but around the world, in Canada, South America, of course, in Asia, in Finland, which is where the Kismet candy bar comes from. Someone came in and said, Kismet, did you know there's a candy bar called the Kismet Candy Bar here in Finland? And I'm like, no way! I got a candy bar named after me, which is really not named after me, just so you know. So I'm going to contact them and ask them, say, hey, you mind sending me some candy bars? I give out stuff at TwitchCon, and if you could send me some candy bars, I will give them out. Spread the word about your awesome candy, because I love their candy. Their candy is so good. It is so good. I mean, I might eat through the paper. It's so good. But yeah, so they send me about 1,000 of these every year, and then I buy even more on top of that to give out at TwitchCon. So I literally give out thousands of free candy bars at TwitchCon every year, and I've done it. This is my 3rd year in a row. And of course they have the big one, and then they have the small one. Now, if you want to get some Kismet candy, you might not be at TwitchCon or whatever, but of course in your Kismet loot drop, you're going to get some Kismet candy. Look at the mini ones. Aren't they awesome? I love the little Kismet minis. So they said, sure, Kismet, I'll back you up. They're one of my first sponsors here on the stream. And again, this is how you make dreams happen. You just got to go for it. And you got to be okay if someone says no. Like, I tried to contact Razer, who I absolutely love. I love their products. I love the Naga. The Naga is my favorite mouse of all time. It's incredibly well built. It has the 12 buttons on the side because I played a lot of MMOs back in the day. Not only do I love the Naga, but I have 3 Nagas. I replaced it on everything. Even my Mac has one over here. That's how hardcore of a Razer fan I am. But I contacted them and said, hey, what steps do I need to do to become an affiliate or a partner with Razer? And they said, you're way too small. No, thank you. Right? And you just got to say, okay, thanks, appreciate it. Right? You got to be like that inside, right? Can't say, well, this guy over here, he's got less numbers than me. I'm a big time Mr. Somebody. You should give me this thing and all of that stuff. And, they don't owe you nothing. They're being kind to you. And I always look at it like that. My sponsors are awesome. Like, I got Elgato, Blue Yeti. Of course, I got Fraser, Nitrato here who do servers for me. I appreciate those relationships. I appreciate those people who go above and beyond. And I love great products, right? If they don't produce something awesome, I don't want anything to do with them, really. Someone comes in and says, here you go, I'm going to give you big money, right? I'm going to give you $1 million to play this game or go do this thing or whatever. And I don't believe in that thing. If I don't think it's a great product, if I think their customer service sucks, I'll be like, nah, I'm good. And you're like, nah, Kismet, you would totally take $1 million. No, I wouldn't. I totally wouldn't. Because I don't need to. I don't need to have all of those things anymore. I am not on the quest I was when I started, right? When I'm in my 20s, I was like, money, 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 big house, big car, $1,000 suits, all of that. And I got those things. And you know what? They're just things. They're not as important as all the relationships you might have trashed along the way. They're not as important as your children spending time with them and your friends. It's certainly not more important than that. And you spent your whole life working. A great friend of mine when I used to work all the time. I mean, I worked 24/7 pretty much. If I wasn't working, I was thinking about work. I was that guy, right? And just completely self-absorbed. And he said, Kismet, first, you'd be a great guy if you weren't such an a-hole. That's tough love right there. That's a good friend too, right? He says it in a way that gets through to you, but isn't mean, right? And he's also told me, and he's a millionaire, by the way, at the time when I met him. He's gone on to be a crazy millionaire now. And he said to me, Kismet, you won't wish that you worked more at the end of your life. Because he is like 40 years older than me. He's like retired now. He's like in his 80s now, right? He was 40 when I was 20, or however that works out. 40. He was 60 when I was 20. 60 when I was 20. And he said that you won't wish that you worked more toward the end of your life. So I got that lesson for free. I didn't have to go all the way to the end of my life to learn that lesson. I learned it earlier. So you know what I started doing? I started doing more things. I started going to the river. I started partying. I started flying all over the place. I started looking for that special someone, right? And then, I gave up on that special someone. But how it goes, when you give up on that special someone, that's exactly when it happens. Been with her 26 years now. I know. It's amazing. It's amazing. Sometimes just when you're ready to give up, just when you're like, forget it. You know what? I'll just focus on work. I'll just focus on that. You never know. Right around the corner. You go for bagels. You go for donuts. You go for somewhere, right? You go to wherever your favorite spot is. All of a sudden, that lightning strikes. I hope it happens for each and every one of you. I really do. I really do. And thanks again to Red Dirt Ranch. Again, Kismet, you do you. What an inspiration. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you again. I appreciate each and every one of you coming to my stream, hanging out here, putting your feet up, relaxing, as we build some stuff today. We're building some stuff. What am I doing? Pipes. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for my pipes to come through. Here's a few right here. We got so much concrete on us. Let's offload some of this. Right there. Man, we have just been crushing on the concrete now, haven't we? Whoa. We're going to need a lot of that, though, soon. We're going to need a whole lot of that. So we'll work on that in a bit. Let's see. So we need the pipes. So the pipes are going to go this way. Oh, we forgot to disable the pipes. That's what it was. We need to disable it running down the line. The reason why is we want it to backlog a little bit so we can take a bunch of them so we don't have to make them. Some items are faster when you make them. Like screws, you can make like this, right? But on the larger scale, it would take a lot longer for you to make it because here you can set it and forget it, right? That's really what we want to do. We want to get the math all down. We want to get it efficient, and we want to set it and forget it over here. So what we want to do is take this out right here because that's running over there into my production and producing something which I can't remember over there, right? I think it's producing engines over there. Yeah, I think it's engines. But right now, what we need to do is we need to keep it for us, right? So this is why I'll disable it. Like you saw the other one over there, it just runs in the box. It doesn't go anywhere else. And you want to have that extra bit of stuff. Oh, actually, we can disable it on the other end. Hold on, let's do that. Let's disable it on the other end. Just back up here. And then we'll make another box for it over on this side. Maybe we could squeeze it in right there. Let's go. Oh, when we put our stuff away. Walking. And again, if you do have a comment or question, oh snap! This is Wrath the Wall in the chat. If you have any comments, suggestions, want to just say hi, feel free to throw in the chat. I love interacting and talking with people here in the stream. One of my favorite things to do. Absolutely love it. Super awesome. It's my favorite thing to do on Twitch, even more than playing games, is talking with people, meeting people from all over the world, from different backgrounds and whatnot. And you're like, Kismet, have you met people all over the world before? Yeah, I have. When I was like 10 years old. And you're like, how could you do that at 10 years old? Well, I had this amazing thing. You might have heard of it. It came out about that time when I was in my early stages of my life. It was called a computer. I know. 40 years ago. 40 years ago, I was talking to people all over the world. The reason why I could do that is because my mom started what's known as a bulletin board system, which is like the predecessor to the web page today, 40 years ago. And people would log in onto the bulletin board and say, hey, you like comic books? You like Dungeons and Dragons? And they'd leave a message. And then I would leave a message. Yeah, I love comic books, man. I got all sorts of comic books. I got the Avengers, and I got, the DC, and I got all of that, and I got Thor, and I got Iron Man. And when you're a kid, you're into what you're into. Yeah, I like Legos or whatever. And then leave a message, you leave a message, and so on and so forth. Now, today, you got instant, right? Full video, instant, we can talk back and forth, which is awesome. Awesome. So I've been basically doing that my whole life. And have enjoyed every minute of it because you get to see the whole world in a whole different perspective, from another person's perspective, which not a lot of people do or even try to look from other people's perspective. And you get a real insight as well into the world. It's really, really cool. All right, so we're going to go ahead and divert that there. I feel like we want to do kind of an in-between one here so we can remember where we want to run that later. We got to put that up higher. Yeah. Hear it shut off? I mean, it's just backlog. When I hear it shut off, that just makes me want to double it up and double it up so it never shuts off. Right? That's just me. Look at this thing cranking out over here. What's it doing? Plates. Got a backlog of them. Got a backlog of them. We got so much resources, man. We can do so much. Pretty awesome. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's so many great things. By the way, I have tried all of the Kismet candy bars, and I can tell you all of them are good. All of them are good. But, of course, it's up to your taste buds. They're going to be different to you to they are to me. But I've tried, and I've given out all of them as well. I've tried all the different ones. My favorite is the orange one. Apparently, they're not doing those this year, which is a bummer. I love the orange. It's like orange. It's like a Kit Kat. It's like an orange Kit Kat, if you've ever had that before. But of course, the funny thing is in different places in the world, they have different styles of candy and different type of styles of treats and whatnot that we never even heard of here in the U.S. and maybe people around the world never heard of ours, right? They're like, what's a Kit Kat? I don't know what a Kit Kat is, right? I find that interesting too. I find that kind of diversity of what people like and dislike and all that stuff in the world very interesting, right? And hey, it's your life. You enjoy what you like, right? If you don't like orange Kit Kats, which you would think would not go together, but it is so good. They are so good. I'm gonna need a whole box of those. See, I have a weakness for chocolate. It's my only weakness, other than my wife, is chocolate. I am a bit of a chocoholic. I love chocolate milk. It's my favorite drink. And of course, love me some Dr. Pepper, aka Cherry Nuka-Cola, as I like to do it. Try to ease off. I did have some the other day, though. Full disclosure. Again, I don't say, oh, well, I'm never going to have this thing again, right? I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to do all of that stuff. I find that's a huge mistake. Because, one, you're going to feel terrible when you get off of that diet. And two, you crave nothing but that stuff that you say you can't have anymore. So here's what you do. You say, you know what? I'm going to take it easy on this. I'm going to, not drink so much soda. I'm going to start taking better care of myself. This time, I'm going to go ahead and just have some water or some orange juice, as I like to do. I'm going to substitute all of that chocolate and candy for things like grapes and strawberries. That's what I did. And I lost 10 pounds. Then I lost 10 pounds again. And then again. And then again. And then again. So I know it works for me. Right? And everybody's different, right? No, everybody's different. Not everything works perfectly the same. And, the thing that really gets me, too, is when you're watching those infomercials and they make it look so easy. And then they're like, oh, it's easy to lose weight and it's easy to do all this. It ain't easy. It ain't ever going to be easy. That's the problem. Everybody expects it to be easy. It's not easy. Your body is conditioned to retain energy. It's like batteries, right? That's what that fat is. It's like energy that your body has stored up for later. And you just got to burn that energy. It ain't no rocket science. It ain't no, fancy charts and things like that they have on some of those infomercials. It's very simple. But it's not easy. It's simple but not easy. That's the problem with losing weight. And taking good care of yourself. You have to put the time in. What you put in, what you get out. Right? And a lot of people don't want to do it. They're like, I give it. Screw it. Right? Nah, you gotta take good care of yourself. Otherwise, you end up having trouble like me. Right? And of course, I've taken great care of myself. The problem is as you get older, you spend a lot less time, running around doing all the things that you did when you're young, and you go to the river and you're sea-dooing, you're boating and you're partying and you're having a great time, which, at my age, that's a little creepy, I think. I think if you're still out there doing that partying thing and you're still at spring break and you're doing all that at 40 years old, of course, your life, it's all on you. I find that a little creepy. You're out there with the 18 and 20-year-old kids and you're 45, 50, 60 years old. There's a time in your life for that. I feel like that's the young time when you're going, you're trying to discover who you are and trying to discover the world and learn things and all of that. But at my age, I feel if I was out there doing that, it'd be like, what's that old guy doing out here? But of course, hey, maybe that's your thing. Maybe you like to party. Maybe you like to go out there and do that. Don't restrict yourself from doing it. But for me, nah. No, that's not right for me. And again, it's whatever's right for you, right? There's no, hey, everybody should do this, right? There is none of that because everybody is uniquely complex and what they are and where they come from and what they do. And again, that's what my stream's all about. A little positivity. Man, I really got heavy into that today, didn't I? I got heavy into that, but such is the way it goes on my stream. Did you see that link I put in the chat? Yes, I've tried it all. You should try UK chocolate. I might send you some. Well, hey, check out my P.O. box. I will try some. I hear the UK chocolate is good. It's really good. Hey, you got some chocolate. I'll try it. Now, unless it's really hot. I have had my gallbladder out. And when you have your gallbladder out, there's some things you can no longer eat. I've eaten bacon my whole entire life. I cannot eat bacon anymore. It really upsets my stomach. My parents were like the bacon masters, man. Everything with bacon. And then when I was a kid. And then, of course, I grew up on fast food as a kid, too, right, which is really bad for you. Really, really bad. My wife, by the way, is the most incredible cook. She's from the South. If you've never been to, like, you know, the southern United States, that's where all the best food is. I'm telling you, it's incredibly great. And that also will put a little pounds on you. Because, you know, when you get older, you're spending time with your family, you're going out to eat, you're spending a lot more leisure time, just sitting around talking and having a good time with those people you care about. As opposed to, you know, being in the gym and, you know, doing your thing and running around and partying and doing all of that. And then what happens is as you get older, your metabolism slows down. And then it's even harder because you got to really stay at it, right? You got to really do that gym pack. I've been going to the gym, everybody. I rode 6.2 miles the other day on my bike for the very first time with my kids. In I'd say 7 to 8 years have I ever gone that far. I used to go 50 miles on a bike. 50 miles. Long way on a bike. You got to take a whole day for that. That's a long way. There you go. Back in the day. But my wife's she was an incredible baker, and then since we moved back here to Tennessee, she became an incredible cook and incredibly great at baking. Of course, my favorite food of all time, the chocolate chip cookie. My wife makes the most amazing chocolate chip cookies, the kind where they're still warm and soft, but firm enough where you can still eat it, where it doesn't fall, but brown on the bottom, right out of the thing. I have to test them because, you know, they may be bad. I might have to test a bunch of them. Such is the way it goes. It does count as food. It counts as nirvana for me. Now, of course, everybody does enjoy their different confections, I'm sure. And Fraser has some of the most amazing confections. I would go check those out. Now, again, if you want to check out, do we have a thing for my P.O. box? We have a exclamation point P.O. box? Something like that? I think there is. I can't remember. Let me go look it up. Yeah, I'd say P.O. box, probably. Let's go check it out. Let me check it out in here. It might be off. I know we had it at one point. Because we're in here reworking all of this stuff. My mods are working very, very hard behind the scenes. Make sure to show them lots of love. That's why I raise funds for them to go to TwitchCon, because they do a lot of stuff here in the stream. And because, you know, I'm not the wealthy guy I was before, I can't just say, hey, you know what, I'm going to pay for you to go to TwitchCon. I put every single dime back in the stream. My wife actually supports the family now. But, you know, we're the type of people who don't need all the fancy things, right? We spend all of our funds on our children. And keeping the lights on. Man, I feel like... there it is right there. Let me turn it back on. Let me make sure it's correct first. It is correct. Hold on. Yeah, we were working on that one. Must have turned it off. Bam! There you go. Right there. Go ahead and try it again. Exclamation P.O. Box. Again, big shout out to StreamElements.com as well. Who make those easy commands like that. You can make all your commands. You can turn them on and off. You can do all of that stuff. So feel free to send me some loots, and I might open it right here on the stream. Give you a shout out, show you some love. Right here. All right. We got that going. We're doing our industrial beams and then our steel pipes. We got both of those going. Now we can do our storage containers. All right, I feel like we should take some more with us here before we go. All right, that's our power that way. Oh, well, I guess we're going up there for a second. See how this has become to a halt here? This is our manufacturing. Right now it's producing motors. It needs stators, and to do the stators, we need to have those pipes running in there to produce those, which are running over on this side. Let's go up here. There we go. Look at all that stuff just kind of winding in there. Too cool. Too cool, bro. Whoa, hey-oh. So yeah, stators in there. So... let's see. Where's our stator production? Oh, this is producing them over here. This is where that's where it's got to go this way. It pipes into these ones here. They then pipe over this way into this box. This box then runs back around the back and then runs into these, which then makes the motors, which then runs up there and then runs back over that way to our space elevator. I know, it's a lot of fun. This game is super fun in that way, that you can go in. And I hope, you know, just a little bit of the passion that I have for what I do in my life rubs off on you. That gives you a little passion to go do what you love in your life. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see. And that's what I enjoy doing, inspiring people. And then people come back in and say, Kismet, I went and got that job. Kismet, you know what? I talked to that girl or that boy, and, you know, we're going out this Friday, and hopefully it works out or whatnot. I love to hear that kind of stuff. So if you do have something awesome happen because of some inspiring words on the stream, I always love to hear it. I appreciate it. All right, speaking of doing awesome, inspiring things, let's keep building our mega base here. We're having lots of fun. So we went over here, we reran. Oh, wait, whoa, hold on. I forgot to reconnect it before we go. Otherwise, it's just going to fill that entire... I love how you can push this thing with your little guy. Look at that. You should not be able to push that thing with my dude. There we go. Kiz, I love your stream. Well, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here. Again, I try to, you know, just inspire people to do what they love every day. Just like I get to do. And, you know, sometimes people, you know, they get to live vicariously through other people. So that's what we do for TwitchCon. That when I go to TwitchCon, maybe you can't make it there. Maybe it's like a medical reason you can't make it there. Maybe you can, you know, you can't afford it, or, you know, it might be you got to work that week or whatever it is. And then that's what I get to do for the community, right? You guys get to live that through me, right? You get to see my experiences and learn from my successes and failures along the way, and have a fun time along with us. We all go on the journey together. And that's what I really love about doing that stuff, going on adventures like that, and bringing my mods and all of that. And then you get to see their perspective as well. We'll take plenty of pictures and whatnot. We'll also be streaming from the show. I might be streaming also from my laptop. I might pop on. We'll play some games, talk for a bit while I'm there. I'm not sure I'm going to be doing it directly from the show. They haven't got back to me yet whether I'm going to be in the Intel Center. But I'm kind of feeling like that's so exhausting every single time that I wouldn't be that upset about it. But no, it's really fun. I love to stream live from the show. I tell you guys what's going on from the show. But if not, that's okay. Right? You got to be okay with it either way. That's what I think. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm getting sidetracked. Squirrels. Let's see some squirrels in the chat, everybody. I totally just squirreled right there on what I was doing. Got to go back. I was diverting. All right, we got enough extra of those. All right, now we'll go ahead and put these back over here. We'll start making some more computers. Bam. Now, the cool thing, set it and forget it, right? We're good. We're outie. Whee! One of my favorite things is to watch it just come down and kick in. Right? Like right now, all of this stuff over here is waiting. It's waiting on these resources right here. And the second these resources kick in here, all of this machinery is going to kick in. It's really a wonderful thing. That's why I really like this game. They've done an incredibly great job. And I would have loved to have done a panel, but they turned down my panels. I would have loved to inspire people at those panels and kind of do like a great story of, you know, I started there and I came back to San Diego some years later as a partner streamer to inspire others to go do what they love to do. But sadly, they didn't pick mine, but that's okay. That's okay. It's more work for me anyway. Less work for me. Now I can have more fun running around. I can go to the panels. The last couple years, I haven't even got to go to any of the panels or learn stuff from other people, which is a bummer. But this year, hopefully, we'll have more time for that. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. See, there we go. So it's starting up. And then, of course, as this produces stuff, it's going to send those all the way around. And when they get all the way around, they're going to start to feed in here. Oh, see, look, this is starting to go, right? Starting to use that up. And then it's going to start using our concrete up eventually with a whole bunch of other stuff that we're building. We're just making its way around. We're going to see it come out over here eventually. It's a long way around. Long way round. Come on. They're going that way. Ah, there they go. There it comes. Slowly. We're going to increase all those belt speeds eventually. So eventually you just want all your belt speeds to be maximum because you're making so much resources. It doesn't even matter anymore. Yeah, I've been streaming for about an hour and 45 minutes. I started early. So just kind of felt like it. Felt like it because I was up already and I said, let's do it. We can play solitaire together. There we go. Yeah, let's play some rockin' solitaire. Honestly, the most inspirational streamer on Twitch. Much love. I always enjoy the streams. Look forward to them every night. Oh, thank you, Gizon. I appreciate that greatly. Mods, let's go ahead and take that and put that in my inspiring quotes. Not only do I try to inspire you guys, but you guys inspire me right back again with your kind words. I appreciate it. I read I read a bunch of those every single day. I read 5 of them every day. Of all the inspiring quotes, I have thousands of them here on the stream. Of kind things that people say. Because, you know, all the other stuff where people come in and say, Kismet, you're old, Kismet this and that, and, you know, you suck, and that sucks, and this sucks. It sounds like their life sucks if they got to come into someone's stream randomly and tell them how much they suck. That's kind of bad on their part, I think. But that's me. I'm the worst person to troll because I don't care. I already been there, done that. I don't need anybody to tell me what I'm doing. But all of that stuff, nah. Forget that stuff. You want to collect the joy moments, the kind things that people do for you, and then it fills you up inside. Because the more you are mean to other people, the more empty you're going to feel. It's the opposite effect, right? The more moments of joy you collect, the more you filled up. The more of that you get to take with you, I believe, with your soul, right? You're putting that in soul. You're either staining your soul or you're collecting great things for your soul for later that get you through the rest of your life, especially in the hard times. But you know what? That's just my opinion. It's your life. It's all on you. They're your choices. You can tear things down and stain your soul and be a complete a-hole. You know, that's your choices. For me, I already been there, done that. I know where that leads. That's a dead end. You're just angry. You're just angry. Stains you. It just fills you up with emptiness. I find. But hey, there we go. And I also find I just have no time for people who are jerks anymore. I just like, whatever, bye. That's on you, bro. That's all on you. You want to be an a-hole? That's on you. What I do is on me. What they do is on them. So there we go. Here we go. We got it going on. We got it going on. There we go. Mr. Michael, I'm coming up with a high five. There you go. What's up, Mr. Grin? That's a bunch of garbage attitudes. Other people? What are you talking about? Talking about other people with bad attitudes? It happens sometimes. I'm sure you've run into them before. I was kind of watching to see if it's running now. It's running perfectly now. We can just let it run. Let's go. Let it run. I'm always watching to see, you know, the timing. Is it working? Is one of the conveyors stop? That kind of stuff. That's dead giveaway. It's a dead flag. Big flag that you got something screwed up. I always think it's user error first. I always assume it's user error, and then you're usually right 99% of the time. Sometimes it can be the game, right? You know, or it can be your computer or your microwave or whatever it is. But most of the time, you got the power switch turned off, or you tripped your power, and that's why your lights aren't on, or whatever it is, or there's no batteries in the thing you just bought, and you're wondering why it's not working. Like, oh yeah, I gotta put batteries in there. I know you guys have done that. Put a one in the chat if you've ever done that. If you tried to use something and realized the batteries are either dead or you don't have any batteries in there. I know you have. I know you have. You can't fool me. All right, we had lots of fun back at our base. Let's get back over here where all our pure nodes are. I would love to get to power today. That would be awesome. That would be incredible. Kids, how many alternate recipes you got? Only a few. I've only got a few. I've only got like 2, I think. Oh, and speaking of alternate recipes, I yet again forgot to put the hard drive in my hub back there. Oh, well. Oh, well. Again, I'm always in no hurry, no rush to do that stuff. I know that it's going to be super efficient later on to use those higher-end things. Like right now, we could be piping all of that stuff in there and just be making massive tons of screws. But I'm not in a hurry to get there, right? I'm not in a hurry to get to the end of the game. I'm taking my time along the way. And that's why I get so many hours out of games. That's why I have 2,500 hours in Fallout 4. That's why I have thousands of hours in other games. It's because I don't rush to the end. I get the most out of this, right? I mean, I paid my money. I want to take the journey. If I'm buying my ticket on the ride of my life, I wanna enjoy every second of that ride, right? Because, you know, hey, you paid your money. Why not, right? Why just, you know, whoof, through the game like that? So we'll get some more, though. Don't worry. We'll get some more. We'll get some more alternate recipes and whatnot. We'll have fun with that. But right now, we're going to try to build some boxes right now. Did all of that so we could build some boxes down here. All right, so let's get our boxes built up over here. Let's see. How many of these we got? We got 1, 2, 3 there. And 1, 2, 3 over there. See, now the problem is we can't combine too many of these together because we don't have the 480s yet. And that's what we're working on right now. We're working on building all of this so we can build the computers, which allows us to build up to the next level and the next level and the next level. And while we're waiting for that to run, we'll go explore some more as well. But right now we have to think about, okay, wait a minute. It's coming in at 270, or really 240 is what it's coming in, I think. Or no, 270, because 90... Let's take a look at that again. Let's look at that math. The 270? Yeah, 270. So 90 times 3 is 270. So it's the max of our conveyor. But what we can do is we can kind of, double up or triple up here. And I'm going to try to find a good place for this. Let's say we'll run these right there, right? And I know exactly how many I need. I need 3 of them. And you're like, Kismet, how do you know you need 3? Well, we're going to talk about that in a second. Let me go make some more of these things, and we'll do that. Let's go back over here. Actually, I don't need to run all the way over there. I'll just make another one because I don't like running everywhere anymore. See, I was running back and forth when I first started playing. Running back and forth, and then I realized I don't need to run back and forth. I can just put these down anywhere. As long as you got the basic resources on you all the time, you just put this down wherever you are, and you can just go ahead and craft away, or you can use your vehicle. Works fantastic. Hey, TJ in the chat. Ready to show us some love. Coming in with that host as well. Thank you so much for that host. Appreciate that, love. Did you build all of this? I did. This is the baby base. This is my little baby right here. This is the tiny one. Want to take a little peek? Let's take a little peek. This is the baby base. I got a much bigger one over there. And you just wait. I could build at 1,000 times this size. This is a little tiny little base. You wait till I really get it going. We're just working game mechanics right now, learning ways of making our base more efficient and more dense so that we could build more in a smaller area and continue to do so over and over. Now, of course, we're building very horizontally right now. Last time I built very vertically just to try to test that out. This time we're building very horizontally, meaning we're building on a single plane throughout the entire game, right? All the way until the mountains. We're on the same plane at the same level, and we're up a bit here so we don't run into mobs or whatnot down below there. We don't run into the water and all of that. We're up above, right? So it allows us to go anywhere and everywhere based on where we are. And we have so much concrete right now, I could spend the rest of the night just filling in this whole entire area with concrete. I mean, all the way until the mountain. We got such a backlog of concrete over there that by the time I was done filling this in, it would already reproduce all of the stuff that we've used. That's how much concrete we got going over there. And I could fill all this in and all the way into that way and on every direction and so on. But we're also going to do another level above this, which is going to be our trains, which is going to be very, very fun. And this is one of the things that I really learned about the game as I was playing it was you really have no size limitation. You have no space limitations. You are perfectly fine to just keep expanding. Now, I'm not going to talk about how good that is for the ecosystem over here. Probably not that great. But in this, we are going to do as best we can do. All right. That aside, in this world's ecosystem, we are charged by the company. I think I have all these backwards. I think I have this one backwards. We are charged by the company to... nope, got them both backwards. To come down here and build a gigantic base and then send them tons of loot up in space. So we're going to do that right now. There we go. We've got our 3. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and run these 2 over here, right over here. I'll bring this one down. And that allows us to do 2 inputs instead of just 1. So now we can keep that at full speed, filling into here because we don't have the 480 yet, right? We can't go up to that higher level conveyor. So that's going to be perfectly great there. Now this one over here, we'll go ahead and take this one out. And we're going to run this one, which is going to be our one for this one, right there. And you could probably guess what I'm going to do with the rest of this. I know you can. I know you already got it figured out. You're like, Kismet, easy mode, bro. Easy mode. All right, oh, out of those things again. Got to run back to our car. Waddle my way over there. Going good, going good. You want a $90 game package, and I have ice cream cake in the freezer. That is a double threat right there. He's on cloud 9 right now. Oh, man, ice cream cake. I hope you bought enough for the entire stream. Because, you know, I think everybody... Who in here wants ice cream cake? Raise your hand in the chat. Raise your hand in the chat if you want ice cream cake. I want me some Oreo ice cream cake. What kind of ice cream cake is it? Now I'm curious. I love me some Oreo ice cream cake. Oh, that one's got to go down. This has got to go down here. This one here. This one there. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect. Look how that ended up perfectly, right? All I got to do is just figure out the math and how it's going to work out in the end. All right, now we need a bunch of power. Now, check out this cool thing that we learned. Thanks to, man, I forgot who it was in the chat, but thank you, whoever you were, who told me that if you go like this and you try to put a power line down, because this is the first thing I did, right? As I saw this, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is like perfect. You put the power pole right on the top. But for some reason, won't let me put that power pole up there. You're like, Kismet, you don't have the resources. All right, hold on. Let's go get the resources, and let's try it again. Let's get those resources. Then we'll go back, and we'll try to put a power pole up here. All right? Again, for some reason, it won't let you put the power pole up there. So I thought, well, maybe you just can't. You can't stack things on top of it. That sucks. Well, lo and behold, I found out, thanks to the awesome person who, sadly, I have terrible ability to remember names, that if you use the wire, the number 2, that you can just click, and then you can just go ahead and drag that, and it actually sits right on top of there, which I think is awesome because that's less space being used, and very, very cool to drop that in there. And, of course, we also need wire, so we'll go get that as well. But you get the idea. Very, very cool thing. And I was like, man, I sure wish it did. I love games that I play, and I go, man, I sure wish it did, and then that you discover that it actually does. And that's one of those things. I sure wish I could put this on the back of here, because that would make it a lot easier. There we go. On the back of there, we're good to go. And those are the type of things that I like to discover in games. Now, I also discovered that what you want to do is put it every other one. Get over here. There we go. You want to put it every other one like this. Keep that going. Now, you don't necessarily have to, you know, do what I'm doing and jump each and every one. I just find it fun. But you could, in theory, just, you know, stand down there and put them down there, or you can just do what you need to do. Now, of course, we'll come back, and then it's time to power all these babies up. Let's go. We're going to probably run out of power, but we'll see how it goes. Look at that. Quick and easy. All right. That one's done. And then we're going to go ahead and take this. And you can probably guess what we're going to do next. Whee! Right along the conveyor. Whoa, that conveyor is fast. That conveyor be fast. You know what? This one we'll just have some fun. We'll offset it the other way. We'll go like this. So you click to put that one down. Click to put it down. Click it again to do the next one. And so on. Easy mode. And you skip every other one. And then you come back. Go that way. I love the fact that it highlights in blue. That is a really great game mechanic. I always look at games based on their game mechanics. Are they like smart game mechanics, or are they just basic? Right? This game has a lot of really good, smart interface design, game mechanics, things like that. And I absolutely love the game. Incredibly well done. So I give them lots and lots of credit for being awesome. Oh, we have like an extra one or something. What the heck did I just do? I just did something funky there. There we go. That one's already connected. All right, there we go. Now it's time to fire this big bad boy up. Let's go. All right, so we've got these plates coming in. And again, over here. Oh, we need to make... Oh, no! That's what it was we were doing. Oh, I skipped a step. Oh, that's my bad. That's my bad, everybody. We skipped a step. Yeah. My bad. But that's okay. We got some room. What we need to do is we need to do the polls first. Duh. Some of you are like, Kismet, I knew that the whole time, bro. I knew that the whole time, but you don't like me to tell you stuff. So I let you make mistakes, and thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. All right, so we got to do our iron rods. That's why I left this extra room over here. Now I remember why I left this extra room was for these. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do this. But that's okay. We can still use all of this infrastructure. We're just going to take this part out because we don't need to feed this in here because we're not doing that. Now, I could switch these to iron rods instead of screws right here and then actually feed this into that and so on and so forth. But we're going to be making a ton of this stuff and then feeding it into there. All right. So we're coming out of here at, let's check this again. Coming out of here at 240. And then 240 into each of these was 8. So, but these are coming in at 15. So let's see. 240 at 30 is 8, and 240 at 15 is going to be 16. Yeah. All right, so we need 16 of these bars, and then we're going to do screws. So let's go ahead and we turn these to screws already. Are all these screws? No. Okay. I get sidetracked sometimes, and sometimes you make mistakes, right? Like, Kismet, you made a mistake. Yeah, so move on. Roll on with life, everybody. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have little oopsies along the way. And sometimes I get chatting, and I get... This is why I got a squirrel emote. I totally squirrel on what I'm doing. I get to the next step and didn't put it in the proper step. Well, I might as well do these now since I'm going to do those bars here in just a second. Now, the other problem I have now, too, is I need to take all of these other bars out of here, right? I need to take all of these off of the conveyor. Otherwise, what will happen is that these things won't run. They won't do anything. So, again, these are all going to be screws. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. But, again, we got tons of nodes around, tons of pure nodes and whatnot that we can use. We got alternate recipes, which you can see I've got down here, alternate screws right here, right? We've also got, what is the other thing is the alternate plates and whatnot we could do. We could do all of that, but since we have so much resource, this is a pure node here, and it's not even doubled up, too. I could double it up even more and make it even more insane other than that. All right, so we did that, got that going. We got all of our power going. And then now we're going to go over here and we're going to do the bars. And the bars are going to back chain into here. And we can just make that back chain right now just to kind of get an idea of what we're going to need space-wise. So say we do something like this, right? Run that all the way back. And I left just enough room so that I could do that. And this was the one. See, I got ahead of myself there. Got ahead of myself. This is the one that we need to run in a big, long line and then chain it back again. All right, so we're going to run it from this side. And we're going to have it come in and merge right here. Let's line it up just to make it look nice. Let's say right there. There we go. Now it's going to come out of there. And then, of course, that's going to go into a merger. And that merger is going to go toward us. Like this. Very nice. So out of there as bars. Into there. And then that's going to make the screws. And then the screws are going to go over there and so on and so forth. The screws are the biggest thing you want to worry about. And again, we're kind of working backwards. Which is a great way to work, right? You work forward and then backwards and forwards and backwards. So you get that down. And then you're good. My truck is glitched. Yeah, a little bit. It's good now. It's a funky truck. Funky chicken. It's because I keep bumping it. Right? You can actually bump it. As a person, I don't think you should be able to bump that. That truck is, you know, thousands of pounds. I don't think you should bump that, but I'm sure they'll work on that later. But it is kind of funny that you can. All right, so now we need to create the same kind of thing that we did here. Look how much, look at how we're scaling up this time, right? Last time we didn't scale up to this level. We did a much smaller level. We used only 3 or 4 nodes. And we got all the way to the top of all of those things. But this time we're kind of we're going a lot slower. We're letting it do all of the work for us as opposed to us doing all of the work and kind of manually making all of the stuff. What do we need? We need screws. The irony of that, right? The irony of the fact that we need screws so we can make screws. I always find that pretty funny. All right, we need some reinforced plates. I'm sure there's an absolute ton of them back at my base. But for right now, we'll go ahead and just make our own. Let's see how many more we're going to need. What are we on right now? We're on number 2 of 16, so we need 14 more. So let's just go in here and tell it we want 14. We're going to need 42 of those. Hopefully we have enough on us. If not, we'll run back. Right here, it's got 18 left. I have 4 on me. Yeah, not going to have enough. So we'll make some more screws, and we'll make some more plates, and we'll make some more screws, and we'll make some more plates, and so on and so forth. Get this done. We'll get her done. Here we go. It's actually lemon custard ice cream cake. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that sounds really good as an ice cream cake. Oh my god, that sounds good. It sounds really, really good. All right. Making these screws. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, looking good over there. Oh, we got some screws hiding in there too. Yeah, a little bit of this in there. Take that out. We need any of that other stuff right now. All right, what are we at? 42. We need bars. That's what we need. Another funny irony, right? That we need bars. And that's what we're about to make here. But that's okay. We're going to put some of this concrete away. We've got a bunch of steel on us there. Let's make a little bit of concrete on us because we'll probably need that later. We can take this off. Or actually, no, we might need that. Let's take that out. And let's make some bars. Now, we're going to be making a lot of these iron rods here very, very soon. But the cool thing is we have lots of iron ingots right here. We can make iron ingots ourselves. Now that I think about it, I don't need to make it. We can make it ourselves, but we don't need to. Put that in there. We literally go right to this box. It's full of these, right? That just saves us a step. Also, what it does is it fires up our production. Our production is going to get back to going. I just got a bunch of these on me in here. Fires our production back up again. There we go. Lots of iron rods. Let's go. I can make 28 right now. Oh, wait. We don't need iron rods. Sorry, it's iron plates. That's what we need. Iron plates. Sometimes my brain substitute other things in there. All right, cool. Let's make a bunch of these. I love this little tracker thing on the side. I think every game should have that. It is the greatest thing ever. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, power line in the way. We'll have to take that power line out. 6. Let's move the power line to the other side. Really? There we go. We diverted a little bit away so we could use this area for our factory. Now I gotta go back and count them again because I lose track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's keep going. 6. You know what? I just realized I could just use the number up there. I could use the number. It says I need 8 more. It's actually counting down for me. I don't need to count. Even better. All right, 4 more. Two more. All right, again, Coming in at 15, going out at 15. You know, I just thought of something. We might have to rethink our math over here. Yeah, see, I got ahead of myself. This is coming in at 15. So if we doubled it up to 16, then each of those are going to be coming out at 15, which means it's going to be 16 here, so our math is perfect. So 16 producing for 16, which produces 90 each one of those of screws. So perfect, perfect, perfect. And then we're going to run it back that way, obviously, with all these mergers that we're going to do. We're going to do a whole bunch of them right now. A whole big old bunch. Let's get up here. Whee! Hey-o! Hey-ah! I don't know what it is. I love running along the top part there. I guess I could build a whole walkway and all of that. Now, these are actually not going to go into these. I guess I could just run it straight in and just straight merge it. But these are splitters, not mergers. Yeah, that doesn't run into there. Those aren't mergers. Those are splitters. So you can't just go straight across. What we want to do is merge the line back together and then run it back in again. What it is when I hit the thing, it won't let me go back. All right, but these should be mergers. So let's go ahead and put our mergers in. Make sure they're going in the right direction and they fit. Boom. This is getting awesome now. A builder like me at this point would be going, yeah. Be going, this is getting epic. All right, I should have got more plates. All right. Whee! More plates. It's always something that you're missing. Always something you got to run back for. There we go. It's for my mother. She's the only elder I have left. Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Always take good care of the moms out there. Show them that love, that respect. I don't care who you are. Oh, I don't care if you're 70 years old, 10 years old, or 20 years old, or something in between all of that, or above or beyond that. Always show that love to your mama. My number one rule in my house is always respect your mama. That's it. Respect your mom, always. Always, every minute of every day. Disrespect a mama? Boom. Time out you go. Boom. Just like that. You don't do that. That's not right. I think how much your mama's done for you in your life. How many things she's done for you. Work all day. Take care of you in the afternoon. Pick you up from school. Teach you all sorts of great things. Going to help you later in your life. All of those things. Boom. Come on, mouse. There we go. Mouse had thoughts of its own. Now, this is the trickiest part we're in right now. Down here, it gets much easier because you can just look for the two. I'm looking at the green lines on the ground. The two green lines right over here. So you got one coming out and then one going that way. As long as we line those up, we're good. Really, really helpful, too. Especially when you're doing real long lines of this stuff, and one of these messed up means the whole line's not going to work. Sometimes it's a little tricky. There we go. This one I don't even need to do. This one can just go straight into there. All right, time to put our little stuff together here. Oh, this is definitely going to need some more power. This is going to need a lot of power. Now, I find in most games, these type of games, right, building games and whatnot, that actually use power, once you've mastered how to create power, you've mastered the game. I mean, I know I could do this at thousands of this level. 1,000 times this level. Easily. All you got to do is just take the time and effort. That's what everything is about in life, really. Time and effort. What do you want to put your time and effort into? It makes me giddy, man. It makes me joyful just to see all this coming together. This is going to be insane. This is going to create just an insane amount of screws. See, I don't even need the alternate recipe. Look at this. I mean, just think how much screws are going to be coming out of this thing. This is nuts. That's just crazy right there. All right, then we need our, you know, our things we did before, right? Our splitters. Make sure we got it going in the right direction. There we go. And then same thing over here. Oh, what are we missing? Oh, cables. I always find when I can't click, I'm missing something. Missing the cables. Really? We have no cables over there? Well, I happen to have a cable production going over here, and I can tell you it's probably massively full of cables over here. Because it's waiting on us. It's waiting on us to finish this whole side so we can run it over here. So I can bet you I got a whole box full of these over here. Ain't no reason for me to make them. Still making those computers. We're going to have so many backlog of computers. Now, also, the cool thing is when I take these out of here, is again, it's going to fire up all my production again, right? Because the production has come to a halt because that box is full. But the second I take it out of there, right back at it again. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Woo! It isn't nuts, it screws. Go ahead and allow that. There you go. There you go. Thank you so much. Appreciate the love. Yeah, go ahead and put that update in there. Thank you, Rathwall. Appreciate that. Remembering that. Also put that we turn back on. We turn back on the PO box command, and we turn back on. What was the other one we turned on the other day? I can't remember. It was something. It was something. I have to write all this stuff down. I make all sorts of changes. And what I did is I made a little change log whenever I change something so my mods know what the heck I'm doing. Because sometimes I'm literally changing just crazy tons of stuff. I can't remember what it all was. So good to communicate as best you can. I find that's like the biggest thing with anything that you do. If you're a really great communicator and your team has really great communication, then it's at a whole nother level. Then if you're always wondering, okay, you know, is this person going to show up? What's this person doing? What's that person doing? And all of that. I find that like the most frustrating thing. Like when you call up like a plumber, right? And you say, hey, I need a plumber. I got this problem. Could you call me back? Right? And then you proceed to call maybe 5 more, right? Or maybe 3 more. And none of them call you back. Not one of them suckers call you back. It's like, oh, well, I guess they got so much money they don't need to call me back. I guess they're just so incredibly well off as a plumber that they don't need to call me back. I just find bad follow-up the worst. That is the absolute worst thing. Oh, I've been playing for 2 hours, so I got to get up and stretch. You know, I feel like we're just going to do the long part here first, and then we'll do the short parts on the other way. Oh, my goodness. Look at the size. Look at this. Look at the scale we're building now, right? Not just building onesie twosies. Now we're building 16 at a time here and 16 of that thing. Even early game, you got to think that I haven't even upgraded everything yet. I haven't even got to the higher tier stuff. I'm just working on the kind of mid-tier stuff right now. There we go. That's what we want right here. Now the first one here, iron rod. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. Oh, we're gonna try anyway. Oh, hope I didn't screw that up. Hold on. Did I put this in backwards? I don't think so. This is the back of it here. I've definitely done something wrong. Hold on, let me take this out. It's coming in there. Going out over there. Coming out of there, going into there. Just glitchy, I guess. Let's see the next one. The next one's going to tell us whether it's messed up. Ah, just a little glitchy. All right. There we go. This is so awesome. Again, just imagine the scale. I mean, we've barely tapped any of the resources, right? I forget how many nodes we got going, maybe 6 or 7 nodes, and I've seen probably 10, 20 more just around at the kind of scale you could build. Especially, imagine if we had everybody in here right now. If we had 32, 64 people or more on an epic Nitrado server, mega server from my peeps, playing this game. Imagine the scale at which we could do this. The scale would be insane. Incredibly insane. So the second they come out with servers, bro, I'm gonna get my community hooked up. We're gonna play some serious, insane level Satisfactory building over here. We're gonna build some big stuff. There we go. Yeah, when it's 100 degrees and the AC blows, try to get an HCV, man. I have several on file. I know, right? And it's like they don't call you back. That's what's annoying. They could call you back and say, sorry, you know, I'm too busy, I'm too whatever. Okay, cool, that's fine. And that's what I used to do in graphic design. In graphic design, you know, rule number 1, follow-up. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're customer service, which is a very important follow-up. I don't care, you know, if you're the Walmart greeter or whatever, you don't want to say hi to everybody every time they come into the store, right? You want to, you know, you want to follow up on all that stuff. If you're not following up, then honestly, you shouldn't be doing that job. You shouldn't be doing that job if you cannot follow up with the peeps that you need to follow up with. Like, I've been having trouble right now trying to do stuff, trying to get a hold of people at TwitchCon. I'm trying to get it set up, right, where, you know, I like to double check with them before I bring my loot drops and all of that stuff, just like a courtesy kind of thing. Make sure there's no bag limitations like there was last time and all of that. And then they say, hey, contact this email address. Okay. In June, I contacted that email address. No one got back to me. Week goes by, another week goes by, month goes by, nobody gets back to me. Contact him again. Contact my partner rep. He says, hey, contact them. I said, all right, I've already contacted him once, but I'll contact him again. So I contact them. Don't get back to me. Then I contact Twitch again. I contact other people, and I'm contacting all the people that I talked to last time. Don't get back to me. Now, you got to think that I am spending thousands of dollars and hundreds of my hundreds of hours of my time, like 700 hours, to bring my mods to TwitchCon. It's my favorite event of the year and all of that. If people are not following up, it costs me money and time, as well as I'm trying to coordinate with sponsors and appearances and stuff like that. And without that information, you know, it is very hard for me to also do the loot drops, coordinate with my mods, figure out what we're doing on what days, those kind of things. You don't want to do that stuff at the last minute. You want that stuff to be done. If you're going to a convention and you're putting a lot of time and effort and funds into it, you need to have a lot of lead time, right? Like me, I start, you know, 8 months out because I know I've got to get t-shirts. I know I've got to work with my sponsors and see what they want to do, you know, and work with my mods and see who wants to go and doesn't want to go. And then, of course, raise funds and do all of that. If I just started now, there's no way we're going to be anywhere close to the end of that bar, right? That's the way it goes. You gotta put in that time and effort, I find, early on, and you got to follow up. Follow up is king. If you follow up, you will rule the world. You'll be the best at what you do. And I was the best at what I did, and I charged 10 times as much as everybody else because they knew that if they brought it to me, it would get done. And they're like, you know, some people are like, hey, Kismet, you know, there's a little art thing for you guys or whatever you do in your life. Like, what do you charge per hour? I don't charge per hour. I charge per experience. If you're looking for somebody who's experienced and who will get it done on the first try and in the long run save you money, I'm the one. If you want to try some, you know, random person who you don't know what's going to happen, and I made that same mistake myself. Right? I thought, you know, what I do, I'm going to start this program and I'm going to go out, I'm going to find people on Twitch and I'm going to try to help them and, you know, promote their art and all of that stuff. So I go to these people and I say, hey, I'm looking for, you know, a logo. I'm looking for a t-shirt. I'm looking for, you know, some custom stuff for my loot drops. And some of them are awesome. Like, Kismet, I got you back. I'm going to do stuff. A great example, I had some keychains done by Filthy Turtle, who is an incredibly great perler, by the way. And that's something extra that I put in the loot drops that wasn't originally said was going to be in there. But I thought, you know what, I saw the TwitchCon and said, oh, this guy's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and get some of those done. Which actually, by the way, eventually would go on and inspire my actual logo. See, you do one kind thing for someone else, and then it may inspire you later. See, partial inspiration for my logo. The way that he drew it, right? The way he purled it, which is pretty cool. And I thought, wow, I want to get an illustrated version, somewhat like that, with me tipping the hat and all of that, right? With my smile, right? Just a good enough smile where, you know, you can see I'm up to something. You can see I'm having fun doing whatever I'm doing, right? So that's what I tried to do. Now, that was a massive failure, incredibly massive failure. The reason why is because all of the people I contacted said, oh, I got it. I'm on it. Or they didn't get back to me. A lot of them didn't get back to me. And then they said they had it, but they didn't have it. They didn't deliver on what they said. Not only do you got to follow up and all of that, if you say you're going to do it, the hardest thing as an artist, the hardest thing as any business is knowing which ones to turn down. Now, if they'd said, Kismet, you know, I don't have the time, that's a good artist, or a good whatever they do, right, like a plumber, will say, sorry, I'm booked solid this week. Can I contact you next week? We'll get it fixed. Now, if it's an emergency, obviously, you're going to probably have to go to somebody else. But I would probably go with that person because they were so professional. Because they were like, yeah, you know, I can't do it right now. I just wanted to let you know instead of, you know, letting you hang out and just wonder, right? When people don't get back to you, the problem is the person is waiting and wondering what's going on. You never want a client to wonder what you're doing. Your client should always know what you're doing all the time. When somebody contacts me about a design, within 24 hours, I will let them know whether I can take that design, what's going on with it, and so on. And then I'll build a schedule, a production schedule. I've done lots of production. I've done over hundreds of thousands of projects. And then I'll say, look, this is how much stuff I've got going. This is the timeline in which I'm going to try to deliver on it. And I've delivered on every single one, every single time, on time. And that's why I made the big money. And you can do the same. I'm trying to inspire you. Use that magic trick of follow-up. It'll stun people. I don't know what it is about today. That's how business ran in those days. If you did not do that, you would be fired from the company. If you did not follow up, if you did not deliver on what you said, you would be fired. And I don't blame them. I've fired people who didn't show up to work. I've fired people who say they can do this thing, but then they couldn't, right? I say, sorry, I got to let you go. I don't be mean about it, but I say, sorry, let you go. If you can't do the job that you said you were going to do, I got to let you go. But hey, you get some skills, you come back, you know how to do it in the future, bam, good to go, right? Or some people I've trained who I felt were exceptionally good, who just needed a little bit of training, train them up a bit, and then boom, now they're exceptionally good at that thing, right? You can invest in people like that too in your business. But no, not all businesses have funds to invest in training in you. So especially if you're just starting off, right? You want to get as many skills as you can. Keep collecting those skills. I still collect skills, even though I don't do graphic design for other people. I'm always learning new things, how to do new techniques and how to design and how the programs are upgrading and updating and new features and whatnot along the way. I'm always doing that. I love to learn new stuff every single day. Every single day, because it just levels me up, which is awesome. All right, so now we got a problem. We got a big fat problem of Kismet making a big old fail. So we got to go in and we got to take all these ones in between here out of here and put these back in. The reason why is because they have all the incorrect materials over here. So I just take them out and then re-add them. I don't know why this is so awkward up here. I mean, if I'm down here, it works great. It's awkward if you're up above. So I find if you do it from over here, much better. All right, let's take this out. Run that into there. That into there. I feel like the second this all kicks in, we're going to be redoing some power. We're going to need to make some more power. Again, got ahead of myself there, but that's okay. That's okay. We can fix it. We have the power. Oh, I want to go back here. Easier to do it from back there. There we go. See, there's one of those pieces, by the way. If you ever notice that it's not working, one of those pieces may be stuck way in there where you can't see it, especially if it's bars or something. You want to make sure that your iron rods are going in there and running. The power kick off. What's going on there? Oh. There was some left in the line. I can see it right there. See right there, I can see it. Let's back up. Hold on. Yeah, I can see it there. Some still left in the line. Because that thing should be moving. It should be doing something. Might have to do this twice. There we go. See, if you see it's not working, that's when you got to stop and go back and say, oh, okay, what's going on here? That's because I fixed this first before I should have done this first, then reconnected this. But such is the way it goes. We found the problem. That's the most important part. And you can see a little silhouette of it too, which should be a dead giveaway. There we go. Same one here. Yeah, see this has a bunch of them right here. The second we do this again, it's going to pull whatever leftover it had in there out on that. And then we have to take that out again. Oh, we're getting full. Getting full. All right, hold on. We got to run back. Whee! All right, we got it down now. Kismet logistics. Exactly. Exactly. Running all the way back so we don't put our resources all over the place this time. And, oh, we just go to our car. Go to our vehicle. Boom. Alright, let's put all that back in there. Now we got plenty of room. Okay, back to running down the line. Alright, right here. Oh, this one's messed up again. How'd that one get messed up again? Uh-oh. How'd that one get messed up? How'd that get back in there? Maybe we missed that one. I was sworn we fixed that. Let's make sure this is not making... No, it's going now. Okay. What the... Hold on. You see that? How it's done it again? I could have swore we just fixed these. There's something funky there. Funky chicken. I could have sworn we just fixed these. I'm having deja vu. A little deja vu action going on. Look, there's one right there. Yeah, look, there it is again. What the heck? Something coming into the line. Messing with me. Let's make sure we didn't accidentally cross-connect one of these. Alright, seems to be good. Seems legit. Alright. Dang, we just keep putting this in, keep taking it out. Now, when something weird like that's happening, you want to stop, because otherwise you're just going to keep redoing this over and over again. Figure out what's up with what's up. That stopped because it... As long as this moves forward... Yeah, there we go. Okay, that one's working now. Definitely had some extras laying around in some belts here. Oh, that one was fine. That one was fine. See, that's what happens when you get ahead of yourself. Alright. Making a little progress. Dang it, right there again. Oh, look, there's one right there on the conveyor. Where is that coming from? That's coming from somewhere. Where is it coming from? We're taking all these belts out. We're going to backwards engineer this. Somewhere this is connected. It's refeeding it back in there again. So the cure is take everything out. I also feel like it's storing some of it in the thing now, in the splitters. I may have to take all the splitters out. Yeah, we're just gonna run this down the line until this is clear. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna run this straight instead of redoing this. All right, let's just run it straight. We've taken out most of it. We're gonna run it to the end until it's cleared out any excess issues, and then we'll run it into there. We'll see what's up with that. There's something definitely causing it to go in there. So, hey, look, there was two of them right there. Let's run it in here first. So now what we're waiting for is we're going to see if it comes through something else. And if it does, then there was some sort of cross connection. If not, it was just some of them were still stored in the... yeah, it's working. It's working. Then some of them were still stored in the actual splitters. And I think somebody came in my stream and said that now it stores some of them, or they're going to have it where it stores it in the splitter itself. That would be cool. Kind of like a little mini container. But it ain't doing us no good if that's doing that. A little problem solving. Oh, 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 I just saw it go down the line. Get up there. Make this easier. Yeah, look, 8 of them. Oh, let's check the first one. All right, this one's iron rods. Why is that one not working? Not have power? Nope, doesn't have power. That's what it is. Okay, we'll fix that problem too. No power. There it goes. That one's fine. I feel like somehow it's crossing... The raw is making its way in there somehow. Or it was back here in one of these splitters back here that got in there. Double checking them all. Seem to be working perfectly. Alright. Seems to be working good. Those are all piping down there just fine. Might have had to just try to clear some of them out. Which means that's what we're going to have to do on the other side, too. Because we had run those in there. We got to clear all those out of there. Alright, let's check now. Last time we had 8. How many are in here now? Still 8. Alright, that's a dead giveaway that we're good. Well, in theory. In theory, we're good. Let's run around this way. Easier to get around. I also need to get to my jetpack. Look at those screws. Screws are pumping out of there. Awesome. Alright, back to work. Working just fine. And as those fill up back there, these will start to fill up more and more. Eventually, everything will be good. Yeah, that's on that one right now. Oops. Okie dokie. Still 8. Oh, 43. Where the heck did that come from? 43 of them somewhere. It's like it was storing them in the in these things. Where the heck is that coming from? They're all splitting over here. We gotta look elsewhere. Well, this is coming in here. That's going around to there. What are we looking here? That's at 100. All right. This one, 100. Again, this is like a cascade way of doing it, right? As it fills to 100, it'll then push that rest of the resources off. As each of these are at 100, it'll just run non-stop. It's right there right now. Oh. Get all of that. So yeah, it filled up a backlog of them. Interesting. It filled up a backlog of them in the actual splitter thing. And that's what was causing our stuff not to work. Well, now we know that one, don't we? Now we know we got to fix this over here, too. We got to fix all of this. We got to run all of this resource out of here. And then remove the ones in between so that we can make sure that that doesn't happen again. We're going to run this here. We're going to run all of this into there. It's going to pull all those resources out of there. There we go. Let's just do this ahead of time. Because these are not supposed to be the ones that are supposed to go in here. This is supposed to be all of our rods. Okay. Looking good. Took all that out. Let's go ahead and just run it out of here into there. Well, there's a bit of an overflow buffer there too. And then away it goes. Take that out. Let it start to overflow and fill up there. Getting there little by little. Surprised our power hasn't kicked off. Well, now we know how to solve that problem, too. We just learned that. I love to learn new stuff. All right, there we go. Tons and tons and tons. Awesome. All right. Again, as those other ones fill up, then these will start to fill up. And then eventually they'll all be filled up with bars. And then run at 100% efficiency, all 16 of them. There we go. Kez, you need to speed the exit for the rods. You need to speed the exit belt for the... Did I use a different rod? No, I used 3s. Didn't I use 3? Yeah, I used 3 on everything. That's as fast as those belts can go. They can't go any faster. Now right here, of course, we've combined this together where this is 90, 90, 90, which is 270, which is the maximum speed. That's why we have to run these separately, because that's the fastest we can go is 270. And look at it piping them screws in there. I bet you these boxes are getting full already. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be piping these in here so fast that this is way more than what we need over there. Over there, we actually need it to only be 110. So we only really need 120, say, just to make the math easy, to run it over there. So we're going to use the outside one here, and we're going to go ahead and, bring it up a little bit like this. And we're going to just use our 120s because we want to also leave some of these for our other ones, but we're out of that kind of stuff. But we happen to have plenty of the 270s, so you know what? Screw it. Let's just go 270. And then we're going to go and see how far we can go. So we run the belt first. Okay, right about here. Less of these things that we have to make. And run it over here. Which one are we going to run in the top box? Top box. So now what it's going to do is it's going to take all those screws out and fill this box up. And then I'm just going to run it in here and it's going to fill it up. So again, I could run it 120, 120, 120. But I can also run it in here and just let it run at its maximum speed, right? Just flow it in there until it's full. And then it's fine. And now we need a bit of power because we've finally gotten to the stage we've been working on all this time. And that is the awesome powering up the big one. Powering up the big boy. All right, start to make me some computers in there, bro. Look at it filling up with them screws. Filling up with the plastic. Plenty of cable, plenty of circuit boards. Look at that. They're all going to be full. Rocking it. And there it goes. Off and running. And then, of course, we want a place to store all of our computers. I seriously doubt I need a big one like this, so we'll go ahead and use a small one for now. Actually, let's move this a little closer. Let's put this in between. Let's say right there. Well, you always want to have concrete on you as well. Guess you need to expand. Then coming out of there at 270 into there. Now, do I need to do it at 270? Absolutely not. It's actually going at 1.875. It's going very, very slow. But it's now set it and forget it. I could just go have dinner right now. I'd come back. I'm good. But you know we're not going to do that. You know we're going to keep expanding this baby. We're going to keep making it bigger and bigger and bigger. We'll keep getting those alternate recipes. We'll keep building it up. And so on, because the whole point of what we're doing here is first establishing this one. And then we're going to keep establishing more and more and more. But the fact that we can make computers now allows us to make more manufacturers, right? And that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to make the computers, which is usually the thing that takes the longest in this particular stage, and letting that kind of run. Now, meanwhile, this is the small part of my base. This is a remote base here. Right. Meanwhile, back over there, it's making tons of other stuff. And soon, we're going to make a bunch of power over there, because we're definitely going to need more power. And once we unlock that power, once we get the computers going, and all this other resources going, then we can unlock the massive power. Then we win. Of course, I already win. I already win. I've already gotten to the highest level of the game and all of that, and unlocked all of that stuff. So very, very fun. And I typically will do commentary and talk out loud, so remember to follow those chat rules. Whenever you go into someone's chat, always follow those chat rules. No backseat gaming, all that kind of stuff. When it's 100 degrees, as he blows, yep. I want to be a part of that. I find games like this hard to play alone, but if we can do it together, count me in. You're in, bro. You're in. Let's do it. Absolutely. The second they come out with servers, this is early access right here. You can multiplayer right now, but when I'm playing and I'm just talking with you guys and I'm doing game mechanics, there's people who are way more advanced at me in this game, and what sometimes they do without knowing that it does kind of suck. It's just like, here, I'll do everything. Let me be the everything person. I'm gonna, it's like when you're playing Ark, right? I don't know if you ever played Ark. It's kind of like a survival game with dinosaurs and all of that. So what happens is one person's like, I'll tame the dinosaurs, I'll build the base, I'll collect the water, I'll do the food, I'll do the armor. Don't you hate people like that? It really annoys me. Like, I always want people to feel like they're a vital part of the team. Like, if we come in here and you're like, Kismet, you know what I love to do? I love to work on the computers, right? I like to make the base and do the computers. I'm like, all right, you're on it, right? And I'm like, hey, Kismet, I like to make the vehicles. I like to explore. Boom, you're on it. And if someone says, hey, I like to explore too, boom, they're on it, right? Let people be a vital part of the team, and you'll find that magic happens, right? The second someone feels like they're not valued or they don't feel like they're part of the team, that's when you get a lot of devalue out of your team, right? When they're like, well, screw it. I don't feel valued in this team. And that's how you lose people as a guild leader, by the way, too. I've had one of the longest running gaming guilds for 16 years with over 800 members. And again, it could be 900 or 1,000 now. I stopped counting at 800 over the years. But that's what I try to do in the game. I try to value people. I was going over there for some reason. Oh, look, we got 7 already. I was going over there for resources. So you want to make 2 more of these. So we need motors. That's what I was going over there for. So yeah, make them feel like they're a valued part of the team. You never go wrong that way. Never go wrong. And we're doing a whole different style here. Now, what we did in our other base was okay, it comes out at 60. We break it into 30, 30 into 15, right? We make it perfect. We make it exactly feeding in at the exact correct rates. Now here we're doing a different style altogether. And this is what I call the overflow, or there's actually a name for it. I forgot what it was. If you're the one who told me what the name of this is, tell me again in the chat. But what we're doing is what I call the overflow method. That is, you run it in there as fast as it can, then it will fill this up, and then this one will hit 100. And then what it will do is it'll call us a backlog, right? So basically it'll be waiting now for it to build, right? And then once it builds, then it'll grab another one and put it in there. And then it will go down to the next one, fill that one up, and then start to backlog. And the math eventually works out. But a lot less splitting, a lot less conveyors, a lot less kind of room that you need to make these large constructions, right? This is a great way to optimize it so you don't have to build this giant infrastructure. And this is the different way we're building here. I always like to try different things, try different builds, different ways. You never know. You may discover something pretty fun. And I like to discover things like that way, by experimentation, as opposed to looking it up on a wiki or cheating or shortcutting or using mods to give you an advantage or anything like that. I don't do any of that. I'm old school. I play the old school way. And the old school way of playing is you discover it as you go, right? When you're doing quests or when you're learning stuff, that's the old school way. I still haven't picked up those motors. Squirrel! Put some squirrels in the chat. Oh, I need to take a break too. I feel like we're going to go ahead and... oh, there's a lot of good stuff in there. Then we're going to go ahead and try to get this second one going here, and then we'll take a quick little break, and then I shall be back. Again, thanks everybody for coming in. Having lots of fun playing some Satisfactory. If you're new to my stream, my name is Kismet. They call me the Wasteland Tycoon or the Gaming Tycoon. I play lots of games. I usually crush those games. I make those games beg for mercy. We don't just play games. We crush them. We destroy them. Where they're like, no, Kismet's playing my game. Ah! And of course, it gives you epic game mechanics along the way. And we have lots of fun, too, because that's what games are really about. It's having fun, right? It's okay if you fail. It's okay if your base falls over. And then you make it again. If you do it wrong, you're like, oh, wait, it's not working like we did back there. Oh, wait, we forgot a whole step. It's okay to make mistakes. Again, if people come in and try to make you say, oh, well, you got to be perfect, you got to not make mistakes, you should know everything about everything in a game. No, you don't need to know everything. That's the point. The point of playing the game is not knowing everything. Not knowing everything is what makes a game fun. The second you know everything in a game, and put a 1 in the chat if you agree, that it diminishes the game, right? It's the 99% reason you stop playing that game. It's because now you know everything, you've done everything, there's no challenge for you left. And if you take that challenge away, then you won't want to play that game. And you paid your money. You paid your money to play that game. And now, you don't want to play it no more. That's a bummer, bro. That's a bummer, Rooney. All right. We got 2 of them going. All right, let's go. Fire up. And you're like, Kismet, how are you going to get that one going? Well, you know I've got more than enough going here. And more than enough feeding over here. So all we got to do is just tap into these lines over here and do the same thing back here. So let's do it. I find the easiest way, by the way, to do this is to double stack. And of course, we could go with the larger container as well. We're just going to go with a smaller container right now. And to double stack it, right? One here, one here. This is easy resources here. Of course, in my case, I would run out of plates. Classic. Classically run out of plates. Oop, nope. Up here. I'm out of plates. I can't build a thing to build plates. That sucks. That sucks, bro. Now, if that happened to you, you'd be really bumming. Be really bumming. But luckily, I've got a vehicle over here and other construction areas that I could use. Make sure to have a little plate so you can build your thing at least. Because you can always deconstruct stuff. You get all of your resources back, which is awesome. And the funny thing is we have we got like 6 boxes of plates back there. We got so much plates. It's pretty funny. But you know, when you're out and about, wandering around, I think I might have some in my car here too. Let's check it out. My ginormous truck. No, but I got so much stuff in there I can make plates until the cows come home at this point. And look at them piping out of there, out of that pure node. Right? That's a pure node. And that's not even doubled up. Now just think of this, right? Hold on. Let me just go ahead and do this. And I love to visualize this. And this is how you know the game is great, is when you're playing the game in your mind when you're not even playing. I've already built this base 1,000 times in my head. I already know what it's going to look like. I already know what the next steps are. Whoa, hello. What I'm going to do. Now look at this. This is non-expanded to the pure node, right? This is all from one pure node over here. We double it up. We could do double this. Just visualize that, right? Double this again. Maybe down there. We could do double that. And then we get another pure node. And we're doing double again, right? Now it's 4 times the size of this, right? And et cetera, et cetera. You get the idea. It's just epic to watch. And they did a really phenomenal job on this game. I give them huge credit. And you're like, Kismet, you're sponsored by these guys or whatnot. I always tell you when I'm sponsored. Every single time. Every single time I'm doing something sponsored. I got some sponsored games to play maybe later. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. I always have something. I appreciate people sending me codes and stuff to play games. I love to try different games. You never know. It might be your new favorite game. I might find. I don't know. I consider myself very privileged to be able to play games that people send me codes. And they sent me a code for this. And I played it. And usually I feel like I'm obligated maybe once to play it if I feel like it's going to be great. Sponsored-wise, when someone sends me a code. So I'll play it once, and I'll say, hey, everybody, I hope you like it, da-da-da-da-da. And then, after that, then it's my choice if I want to play it, right? Then I consider that non-sponsored, because they ain't paying me to play it. I'm just playing it because I enjoy playing it. And I'll also let you know that, too. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm playing the game because I enjoy playing it. And I only play games I enjoy. I never will come in and say, hey, everybody, I love this thing, without really enjoying that thing. Because I don't need to. I don't need it. If someone came to me and said, Kismet, here's $1 million to play this sucky game for your audience, I'd be like, no thanks. Because I don't need that stuff. I don't need the $1 million. I don't need all of that stuff. Well, Kismet, you could, send your kids to college and all of that. That's great. But there's a point in your life that you're going to make those decisions. And you're going to have to give up part of yourself. You're going to have to give up your ethics. And now you see it all the time. People are like, oh, yeah, I love this thing. I love playing League of Legends. And you can tell they don't. You can tell they're lying. And you just look right through them. You've seen those people. I know you have. You can just tell it in a second. And I can spot those people in a second. I was like, oh, God. That is way not convincing. Because you can tell they're hating that game. They don't want to play it or whatever it is. I mean, it could be any game, not just League of Legends. But you get the idea. I'm just using that as an example. League of Legends, very fun game, by the way. I played it here on stream before. But it's not my thing, right? See, the thing about those type of games is I find if you don't have the time to be really, really exceptionally good at them, I feel like I'm just pulling my whole crew down. Whoever I'm with, especially when I'm with randoms, right, who are playing all the time or are really exceptionally good. And if I'm not really committed to that game, then I typically won't play competitive at that level. Same thing with like Apex Legends or PUBG or any of that stuff. I just don't have the time. I got wife, family. That's what's most important. And hanging out with you guys. That's what's more important, right? To me, than going off and doing tournaments and all that stuff. And you're like, Kismet, have you ever done tournaments? I have. I've won several tournaments. Yeah, Descent 2. Won some joysticks and stuff from Interplay back in the day. I used to host LAN tournaments back in the day before there was the internet, right? Or before there was the internet today, the broadband. I had dial-up then, right? I have dial-up. Hold on. In case you guys want to, flashback. We were playing some WoW Classic the other day. The old thing there. Coolio coming in. I literally have no organization skills, so this is so pretty. Well, this I consider very organized, but not as organized as it could be. You could really be crazy organized, right? This could be a way closer. These two things, right? Maximize that space. You could be going vertically, right? Where you have one level down here, and then that feeds to a level up above, then feeds down or feeds up or feeds straight up, and then comes straight back down and then straight up again, right? Vertically stacking. Like you could do giant towers of conveyors and whatnot. But I build horizontally so when people are watching me, they can understand what I'm doing, right? And you might go, oh, well, Kismet, it's too complex. I don't know if I like this game. Remember that all complexity starts with just one simple thing. A great example is like you see 3D animated stuff, right? You say, oh, wow, because I'm also 3D animator. In fact, I got a little buddy who likes to come in from time to time. My little buddy Norbert. He's so awesome. I know about 3D and animation. And some people, when they first get into 3D animation, say, oh, it's so complex. I don't understand how they did it. Well, they did it one piece at a time. They did it one little part. They built the tire. They built the thing. They built the dragon. They built the horns. They worked on the face. They combined that together. And then, of course, it makes it more complex, which makes it cool. The same thing with this entire game, right? Every little piece of this stuff here, like these things they made, right? They started with a basic shape, right? Squares and circles and ovals and spheres and so on and so forth. I can get very deep into art stuff up in here. But you get the idea, right? One little piece then begins to make it more and more complex. And when you get there, it comes out and it looks beautiful. These are really well designed, by the way. I love the actual 3D design on them. So they did an incredibly great job on that as well in this game. All right. So what are we doing? We're running this over here, and I got sidetracked because I was talking to you guys. But hey, that happens. Splitter. Oh, we were doing plates. That's what we're doing. We're doing plates for our splitter. All right. So we're going to go ahead and just split this right into here. And I feel like we want to probably... This is definitely too close. Let's utilize the space over here. Just realize that's way too close if I want to put that there. Though I could just, offset it out, but we're going to be running lots and lots of screws. Now we could also run this into one box and then split it that way. I don't know, I feel like doing a multiple box split here and see how that goes. Alright, and then once again, try to line it up off of that, but I feel like it needs to go back a little bit anyway because I feel like this one's back a little bit. So we'll go with that again. Alright, there we go. There we go. And we're going to double stack. You'll see why I double stack here in a second. Alright, easy mode now. This is all easy now. Now we just put a splitter. We aim at this thing. Boom. Right in there it goes. Alright, now we got some screws going there. Over here, same thing. Splitter. Again, we could make it all fancy and pretty and all of that. Or we just make it easy. Right? Like that. Easy. Now we're getting those wires in there. Now what this just did, though, is because now I'm sending these in different directions, it's now kicking on all the power. So watch out. At some point, it's gonna knock our power out. You'll see. You'll see it'll happen. Boom. And there we go. Now we'll split this. And let's say Try not to clip it. I don't like it when it clips. It still works. Yeah, let's clip it through there. I don't like it. I don't like it. No. No clipping. Let's run it here first. Again, we're using a different technique this time where we're just running it at maximum speed. Instead of, worrying about the speed factor. All right, there we go. Now, the biggest problem we have right now is this right here, which is our plastic, which I don't think is producing enough plastic to support all of this. But we'll go with it. Now, again, back here, we can just go split. And then we kind of look for where we're going to run this, right? Where we're going to run this out of here. Maybe right here. And then we can run it. We could run it this way, too. Run it that way. Up to here. All right, we could really have some fun. Let's say, no, let's run it up here on top of this one. That'd be even more fun, right there. Yeah. All right, right there. Grab that one from over there. Run it. Oh, wait, did we not get it? Oh, I don't have any rods on me. It's always something. Ran out of rods. Back over here we go. Which is the funny irony is, this is just cranking out rods like nobody's business over here. Cranking that out. All right. Let's see. Before we make more, let's check our truck. I always try to use up the resources that I have. Kiz, how your screws are made and sent out on 3... Kiz, love how your screws are made and sent out on 3 belts. Yeah, that's because I haven't upgraded yet. And you'd be like, well, Kismet, why don't you just run to the high level and just use the high level stuff? I could have done that. I did it last game. I just, instead of building this gigantic infrastructure, I built just enough infrastructure where I could do the next level myself and the next level myself, next level, until I got to the highest tier, and then the highest tier. Then I built all the infrastructure to just make that, and then I got to the highest tier. And then you know what I did? New game. And that's what we're doing now. Because I like to try and play games through different ways so you can learn those different mechanics. Like we learned how to do this, right? We learned how to optimize our base now where we could literally just do the kind of overfill technique, which we're using, right? Or backfill technique, which I find way more efficient. I feel like that is the way to go versus the way that I've been doing it, which is very perfect, but not very efficient, and also not efficient space-wise. I feel like this is more efficient space-wise and, factory-wise in the long run. Anyway, in the short run, no big deal because, you only got so many in the very beginning anyway. But later on, it definitely is going to do it. All right, come on, stop talking and start making some rods here. I've probably got a bunch of them over on this other side now that I think about it, or right here, too. I got the raw stuff there. Let's see if we still got a bunch of extra over here. Oh, yeah. Tons of them. Now, we know this is all perfect math-wise because we did the math ahead of time. 240 split into 8, 8 into 16, 16 running into another 16, which is then running at 270, 3 belts, going back into there, into our thing here. And this is filling up fast, man. I am making 10 times the amount of screws that I really need to make. But eventually, I'm going to need all them screws because I'm going to have a big old giant computer manufacturer over here that's just going to keep running and running and running and just producing tons of stuff. Oh, this is stopped over here. Why is it stopped? It's waiting on it to make one. There we go. And then it flows it in there as fast as it possibly can. And it's keeping it maxed out now because we built up a backlog while we were waiting to get those screws, which is cool. All right, now this is the tricky part here. This is why you want to stack these straight up and down. And then you can go one here, one there, one down there. Get in there, you. And one down there. You don't have overlapping poles. I find that works fantastic. And it looks really cool. Another important part of no matter what you're doing. All right, there we go. So now look, this is the one thing we don't got coming out of this top right one here. And that's what we were running back this way before we so horribly ran out of the ability to make our next level. There we go. Let's see if we can get around here. Hopefully it doesn't clip through anything. Oh, looking good. Woo, look out. All right, and then we're up here and then into there, and then that's going to go ahead and pipe its way down into here. There we go. And then you might want to give it a second, right? Give it a second to do a little bit of a backlog in there. Not that it really needs it at this point, because eventually we're going to kick this in and get going. So I feel like the computers is the next thing you need to do, and then the heavy metal frames are actually the thing you want to do after that. All right, because you don't need that many heavy metal frames right now in this stage, but I am going to need 75 computers, so I definitely want to get my computers rolling. So let's go. And there we go. Another one going. I'm just surprised I haven't lost power yet, because you got to think this is all running. This is all running, and my main base over there is still running. Candelavera screws are made in 310. What's your gamma set at? I don't know. I usually turn my gamma up. And the reason why I do that is because people are watching me. But I don't remember turning it up. Field of view. Gameplay. I don't even see it. I got all my stuff on Ultra, too. There's field of view, but no, I don't see no gamma in here. You might be talking about my monitor gamma. I didn't even see gamma in here. Head bobbing, network auto save interval breaking it. Yeah. I didn't touch anything other than the first thing I do when I get in a game is I turn it all up to maximum, because I have an awesome card, a 1080, NVIDIA 1080, which is pretty great. But better stuff coming out now. All right, there we go. We got the other one going. You know what we should do? Make another one. Let's go. Let's go. Cause we getting it beastly over here now. Oh, I hate when I misclick. It bugs me so much. Really give this a little bit of space here. We're not even to the good stuff. I mean, we're going to get to the higher level power. We're going to get to doing a whole lot of trains and fun things like that. We're going to tap all the nodes. The whole world is going to be ours. We're going to just be pumping out resources like nobody's business. Oh, I need 2 more computers. I sure wish there was a box full of computers right now that I could just run to and grab computers out of. 38 of them already. See, now it seems like it's going to take a long time, but you're busy doing other things. So while you're busy doing other things, boom, it's cranking this stuff out like nobody's business. And that's what I really like about this game. And I don't have to put it that close together. Let's put it out here a little bit. All right. Rinse and repeat, right? Rinse and repeat, all that stuff we just did. The reason I use boxes is because I feel like it not only does it organize and create kind of a backlog of stuff, but also it organizes your conveyors, which is really nice. Really need to go back and just get a ton of these plates. All right, we got to do some more plates. Again, I need to just make one of these over here. Stop running back over there. There we go. All right, more plates. We didn't bring any iron. Make 1 plate. Well, I just happen to know where some excess stuff is right over here. Oh. More plates. Funny thing is, you know, there's so many plates back there. And we could be piping the plates over here if we want to, but I'm not really using plates at this moment. Or we could switch the 16 things making bars right now to plates. We have plates coming out our ears. But I don't mind making some from time to time. All right, we need to make another little one. And again, we could use the big one, but we're not to the stage where it's really necessary to make the big one. This is just kind of an overflow. All right, same thing here. All right, you can do it the other way. You could run it through the middle and then run it down from the top on the sides. There we go. All right, same thing here, right? We got that going along there. Let's go ahead and use our splitter. Stick one right here. Run that down there. All right. And this is coming along here. Come on. There we go. Okay. And this is... Let's see what this is. This is plastic. Again, I feel like we're going to need to really boost this plastic. Big time. Now we need to put a splitter up here somewhere. right. Okay, screws going in there. Plastic going in there. This, see how it becomes very complex very, very quickly. I find it very, very cool that it does do that. Alright, this one over here. How are we going to do this? Right, you can have to do different techniques. You don't, I mean, this is a little messy what we're doing now. Alright, just kind of running it what's called spaghetti. Alright, we just run it willy-nilly into whatever, but you know, it's your game. You do whatever you want. I want to run it way up to there like that so it doesn't clip through stuff. Oh, it is clipping. No clipping! No. Run it way, way up there. Alright, much better. Much better. And then we'll bring it down. Whew, too steep. Oh, out of stuff. Out of stuff, Rooney. Run back, get some more. If we got any more, might have used it up. Might have to go on a little adventure. Oh yeah, we used it up. Well, let's see if we can just make some. Make any? We can make 3. That's not gonna cover it. All right. Let's do this. Let's really gear this up. Store all. Take all. Time to really get her going on here. Alright, we got fuel in there. Just a little. Alright, we're going to need more fuel. Let's take this out. Find my fuel right there. Make some more fuel out of this stuff we got laying around a little bit. Definitely going to need to get to our fuel production. Make a little of that, make a little of this. So our fuel down here, not enough barrels. All right. We got enough to probably get us back to our base, maybe, or we're going to be walking. One or the other. This thing burns a lot of fuel. Let's go. Now we got plenty of room to bring some stuff back. This is really fun to driving. What map did you choose? The basic one. This is the first map. I forget what the name of it is. Yeah, the first map. We don't know where everything's at. We don't know where all the nodes are. We don't know none of that. Though I have been going around using beacons, which is a lot of fun. Put beacons down so you can kind of track those nodes. You can see them all up above there. We're tinkering around with that. When I play a game, I tinker around with it first, right? I don't get serious and, you know, say, I'm going to play it all the way through. The first thing I do is I go tinker with the mechanics, right? Okay, how does this work? How does that work? How do I run this to here? What's the kind of this thing and that thing, right? Then I'll start over. Then I'll say, okay, what are the deep mechanics of this game? How does the math work? How do I split this? How do I run this in here? How do I make this the most efficient I can be, right? And then I'm like, okay, cool. All right, let's start again. And then I'll start again and say, okay, this time, now that we know the mechanics, we're going to run it even more efficiently from the very beginning, right? We're going to do it as efficient as possible from the very beginning and see if we can learn even more stuff along the way. Or we might write down the mechanics, like the other day, all the people who are in the chat hanging out while I was making a giant spreadsheet of how, you know, this thing and that thing and how this interacts and how much this takes and that stuff, because it gave us insight into how the power goes up exponentially versus how it produces items. Like when you produce an item and you put, say, 2 of the little boosters in there, it's going to produce 200% of that item. But it's going to use 4 times the power. So you're thinking, wait a minute, it's using 4 times the power. I could make 4 times the object and get the same result, right? It's actually more efficient to build 2 of something than it is to take the one thing and boost that by 200% to basically replace the other one, right? It's more efficient to do that power-wise. And that's why I do that kind of game mechanic stuff, is to discover those kind of mechanics. The kind of mechanics that only that will kind of show you by understanding the numbers and how the numbers work. All right. Let's go ahead and clear out these 80 bazillion plates we've got over here. Boom! That ought to do it. Now to go back to making plates. Feel like you need, you know what you need? You need like Astroneer, where you have like trailers. Like you have like 3 trailers behind here, and you can just fill it up with a ton of loot. Of course, we could do that with our train eventually. We'll get it. We'll get our train going here eventually. We definitely need more fuel. So let's put that in there. What else we got a shortage of? We got a shortage of maybe some more bars. We don't need that many bars. Let's get some more in here. Again, this will fire up all of our production once we start to take this stuff out. A whole bunch of bars. And you're like, Kismet, how'd you get all your resources right there? Well, this time I remember last time I was running all over the place to get these resources. And I said, you know what? I'm piping them right to my hub. Why am I running and doing it? Why don't it bring it to me? So as you can see, it brings me all the resources. So if I'm looking for screws, there's screws. If I'm looking for plates, which I am, I got a bunch of plates in there. If I'm looking for, look at that. Right? Look how many of those, extra of those we got now. Right? If I'm looking for those, there they are. If I'm looking for these over here, which is, you know, we're going to need here in a minute. Right there. So you first want to supply yourself, right, with what you need. And then once you supply yourself with that thing, then you can go ahead and divert it and run it to run through all your machines. I find that is probably the most efficient way to play the game. So I'm not running back and forth collecting resources, though I'm running back a little bit, but I'm collecting giant amount of resources at the same time. It's not like I'm running back and run back 50 times. I run back once and we're probably pretty good now. And so on. So it's less running back and forth, the less work you got to do. It's doing the work, and that's what it should do. That's the whole point of the game, is to continue up those tiers. And of course also explore and do all of that. Pretty fun. Pretty fun. I just never thought about building over the water. Yeah, I build over the water just because it's fun. That's what's fun about building over the water. And the reason why I actually built over the water over here, because, you know, this might as well. It's just empty space, right? All of this. I'm going to build this out in every direction, right up against the mountains. And then up over the mountains. Then whatever's on the other side of those mountains. We don't know. We haven't been that far. But we have been all the way to the edge of those mountains. Now, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I like to discover that stuff on stream. But what we did is we went and got the oil node, right? We got that one styling. Then on the way back, we did a little bit of exploring, and we found a bunch of pure nodes over here. So that's why we built this section of this kind of remote base right here next to the pures. So basically, I could build a whole infrastructure to get to the higher end item, which in this case is computers, right? So we're using those nodes for a specific item, in this case, computers. And you can do that very easily. Some people like to channel it all back to your base. Hey, more power to you. It's your base. You do what you want. I feel it's kind of unnecessary to run. Uh-oh. Speaking of problems. Uh-oh. We forgot to get fuel. Oh, my bad. Can we just put that in there? That would be a yes. That would be a yes. I forgot you could put that in there. So yeah, so we're channeling it from the pure nodes straight out here and just building an infrastructure close to the node. Now before, what I was doing is I was running everything back to my base. And that's a legit way of playing, but there's a lot more infrastructure. You know, you got to build up your trains or your cars, picking up all of that stuff and running it back. But I find that just right by the node is kind of the place to build out your stuff that has to deal with that node. Less distance you have to travel, less resources you have to use, less conveyors you have to use, and just build little remote bases and set it and forget it. Right? Like right now it's producing plastic. I'm not bothering anything. It's setting it as set and forget, right? Same thing with all this pure coming in here, right? This is all set and forget over here. It's making just more resources than I absolutely need for sure over here. It's making an insane amount. Actually, we need to roll up even closer. Hold on. We're going to roll this way. We're going to roll to our second bench over here. And then also what we need to do is we need to up our plastic production, because eventually it's going to catch up. And then we're also going to do power production, which is the next thing that we're going to do. But we need computers to do that, so we want to get our computers going. All right, let's take all that out. Let's put this back in. Take a few of those out. What we got over here? Concrete for sure. This stuff right here we could probably get rid of, but we're using that for now. What do we got over here? A little bit of something, something. Don't need plastic right now. Darn hard drive. Darn hard drive. I keep forgetting that we're back there again. Yet again, did not put the hard drive in there. I'm so bad. I forget stuff. All right, let's store all, and then we're going to take as many of these out as we can. And we'll just have, you know, a little backlog over here in case we need these. We don't have to make any more. There we go. Store all. And then we need a bunch of these. A little bit of this, a little bit of this. Take all our computers out. A little bit of cable, a little bit of this. This is no good, just sitting in there. It's not doing us any good. Need this, sort that. How are we doing on plates? Let's do 3 things of plates. We need our stuff there. Yeah, we got a little bit of everything there. Okay. And I'm going to forget something. I always do. And then I run over and I'm like, oh, I forgot the thing and the stuff in the thing. Let's go. Giant manufacturing. I love exploring this map. Always new things to see. Yeah, I've barely seen just a portion of the map. I don't rush my games. I take my time and try to explore all the stuff I can find. Look at that backlog of plastic in there. Let's see. I think we were doing splitter. So we did plastic and we did this. So we're also running computers up to there, and we wanted to run those computers from up there down to here, and then do a little skewy right back in there. There we go. So we kind of stepped it down like that. And we're going to need to do the same thing with whatever else we're bringing. So we're going to stack that. Oh, see, I always forget something. Really, I thought I picked up a ton of concrete. Apparently, I just used it up. I could have sworn I had a bunch, but that's okay. Back we go again. Whoosh. Oh, hold down control. Grabs all of it at once. Super handy. Keep a bunch of it on us. See, I could be out exploring and discovering things and make my backpack bigger and all of that stuff. We could be doing that as well. But we're doing this instead. Alright, there we go. And way up there. Okay, so the other thing that we need is these right here, which are our cables. Look at this. Look at this mess. It's just fun sometimes just to create yourself a little bit of a mess. It's fun. All right, now we got to figure out how we're going to get this back that way, right? Because it's coming this way, and all of these are coming along here. See, like this. Now, the cool thing is if this came out to a box, one of those double-sized box, I could just send it that way and send it this way. But what we want to do is we want to tap into however we're getting these things over to this one. All right, so we're going to say, okay, this one's going down there, and this one is it right here. So we could try to aim it out of here, right? We could do a splitter right here, and this is iffy at best. But we're going to go ahead and say right there. We're going to try to run it out of without clipping. No clipping. Yeah, it's going to be iffy. All right, let's just do this. Run it out of there. Nope, too close. This way a little bit. There we go. Encroaching on someone's clearance. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now, is that the most efficient way to do that? Absolutely not. That is a terrible way to do that. It's incredibly inefficient. The best thing to do, of course, is have one line where they're going in and out of that same line, all the way down the same conveyor, right? We could have done that. We could have went here and just made one conveyor line where this is going down, and then it's splitting, splitting, splitting. Then the other one's coming from the other way in the other direction, splitting, 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 and so on and so forth. But it just tells you you can do whatever you want. It's your world. You know, you run it in there however. It's not going to be very efficient, but it will be very fun to build. Whee! All right. Just still waiting for my power to kick off. We'll see. And there we go. Again, we created a backlog of it. So it should have a bunch of extra screws in there. How are we looking up here? A little extra plastic. Very nice. And that's the whole point of this. Now we did this perfectly because we went in and we figured out the math of, I think it was circuit boards. How many circuit boards are we producing? And how many of these computer things can we support? Now, if we have overflow, we definitely want to overflow it into the next one. Now, another thing we could have done, too, is we could have split it in between the boxes, right? We could turn the boxes sideways, run it this way, split it, and then have it go forward. And then this way, it overflowing across all the boxes and just running in the boxes, right? Another great way of doing it. Very, very fun. Very, very fun. Now, on the other side of this, we got to make sure that this is coming out of here and merging over here. So we're going to go ahead and just run it all to this particular box. You know what? Actually, I'm going to start running it. I'm going to run it around to the front. Because then when we need it, it'll be way over there. Yeah. All right, let's do that. One. There, okay. Now, of course, it comes out super, super slow, right? It's coming out at 2. So you could use the lowest level conveyor if you want. You don't even need that fast a conveyor. This should be going like that. There we go. And then we're going to line this up as best we can. Being awkward right now. Boom. And we're going to take this one. We're just going to use our cheap conveyor. Merge it all together, because there's no point in running it as 3 separate lines. That's a huge waste of your resources. And then run it up here. And I could have put the merger at the end. I just feel like the middle is the better place to put the merger. That's just me. Alright, then we're going to run it this way. Let's go ahead and set this one to my hotkey. Now that we brought crazy tons of plates back. So instead of me running out there every time to get these computers, I'm just kind of back chaining it. Let's run it up a little higher. Back chaining it to the front. So I just drive by, pick it up. Or even better, I could pipe this all the way back to wherever I wanted it to go. So all of this work equals that. Now, when we have more plastic and we can produce more stuff. There it goes. Yeah, I think the power finally went off. Wow, we did a lot there before the power kicked off. Let's say this. That is way too close. Alright, now it's going to do the work. We don't have to go over there to get it. It's going to bring it to us. Way over here. And then eventually, see, I want to run these computers all the way back to my base so that I can utilize them. Now, it looked like we finally lost power. I believe all of my stuff finally ramped up to maximum speed, which, of course, is going to kick that. Oh, look at those computers. Look at all those computers coming in. Sweet. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's all flashing red. Let's go check our power. Again, this is another thing we need to work on. The more we work on this, the more we got to work on that power. By the way, oh, speaking of power, we need some fuel. We got to go for a little walk. Oh, wait, we got an idea. Hold on. Why walk when we can just make some more fuel? Walking up here. Just run around, grab a little few bushies. Don't need that much. Just enough to get us down the road here a little bit. So when all else fails, resort to those basic resources. There's just something really cool about this. I don't know what it is when you're just walking around and like, Look at these pure nodes. She's a beauty. Look at that. Not boosted. Already at 240. And there's no reason for us to go 480 because we don't have the belts yet. We're not at that stage. We're not rushing this time. We're taking our time. Taking our time. Let's make some fuel. Go for a little ride. Biomass. Biomass. Now, before I have made a thing that will make biomass and do all of that, I find actually it's a waste of my time to do that in the game because I don't use it that much. The second you get to oil, or coal first and then oil, it perpetuates itself. So you don't really need to do that. As long as you have enough power being produced, you're fine. And that's what we really need to do next, and that is really gear up our power to sustain this gigantic base we have going here. All right, going this way, yep. Still pumping those down. Still putting those plastic down there. How come you use different conveyors? I just use the same tier ones. Typically, I will. Sometimes I will use the tier ones based on efficiency, right? Like if it's pulling out of there at a certain rate. And again, that's the game mechanics you want to explore very early on. So I would use first a 60. And then a 60 would come out and split to a 30 and then to a 15 and so on as you split them, right? And you do it that way. That's one way of doing it. And that is perfectly 100% efficient. But then the second way I'm doing it right now on the base I'm right there is where I just run it at maximum speed. I run it at maximum speed and then I let it fill up the first one with 100. And then it will start to overflow because then it stops feeding because it's full. And then it will start to overflow into the next one and fill that one up and fill that one and fill that one. That's a whole different way of doing it. And that works pretty efficiently as well. Like, great example right here, right? You're feeding this out. This is coming out at 240. It's totally stopped now because I lost power. But it comes out here, and it comes out perfectly efficient, right? It comes out at a 2. This is a 120. Comes out at 120, breaks into 60. 60 then breaks in to 30, right? Right over here, right? Which is what the input needs to be. It's perfect. It's perfectly feeding at the perfect rate. Fantastic. But you could just as easily run it as a 270. Well, really a 240. Because that's the maximum output speed of my oil generator. But you could run a 270 conveyor here and just let it overflow, and you don't need any of this infrastructure at all. So that is what we're working on now, is converting from this style of infrastructure, which is, you know, the basic version of the infrastructure where you're learning all about the math and how it works, to a more complex infrastructure that requires more splitters but less belts and less infrastructure, less stuff you have to build. But this is beautifully perfect, though, because it'll run efficiently every single time. There we go. Every single time. Let's see. I love exploring the map. How can we do different things? Conveyors. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. Why are you holding a pistachio? Because that's your health. Watch this. I'm going to bring my health up. Nom, 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 nom. That's why I'm holding it. Now, I would like this game to have a holster. Like, you hold down R, and it holsters your items, so you don't have to carry that around. But most of the time, you're on this thing anyway. You're building, or you're doing something like this. Most of the time, you're like that. I just put that because this is way more annoying, and this is really annoying. Those are my other items. This is the least annoying item I can have on me. So that's why I'm carrying around pistachio. It's like a giant one, too. That's a serious pistachio there. That's some serious stuff. All right, so we need to go over here. We need to make some fuel. That's going to be number one here. We need to power up our fuel over here as well. I feel like we go ahead and use our boxes temporarily. Look at all this other stuff we got laying around over here. Let's store all of that. Then we'll grab a bunch of this. And we'll make a bunch of fuel again. Now, again, the thing that we really need to work on, encased industrial beams. And we need to eventually work on our fuel production. Oh, still got too much stuff on me. Oh, and I got a bunch in there, too. Take all that out of there. There we go. And again, that's what we're working toward right now. That's why we need the computers, is so that we can get that fuel produced, right? So we can go in, say, we can unlock the next power thing by using those computers. And we need 75 computers right now to do that. Now, last time, and I've been to the highest level of the game, you know, all the nuclear power and all that stuff. To do that, we could just fast track. We could just like, okay, I'm just going to make it. I'm just going to go as fast as I possibly can to get to that. But it's also fun to figure out the game mechanics along the way. And we learned, okay, well, we can just use an overflow technique. That works just as good, right? In the long run, right? Because it's just going to keep flowing it out, and be good. One of the things you could also do in that overflow technique is add a box at the end. So that if all of them are waiting, it'll pop an extra one in that box. All of them are waiting, boop, pop an extra one in that box, right? You know what that does is that makes it great for you, because then you could go to that box if you need that resource and pull that out of there. You just don't want it to diminish your perfect math in the long run. You don't want it to diminish how many you're doing. Like, we'll go in and we'll say, okay, this node is producing 240. How many forges can we make out of 240, right? And I got a spreadsheet that does it, right? 240 divided by, say, the input is 15, is 16 things we can make, right? 16 constructors or whatever, right? Or 16 forges, whatever it was, right? Well, in the case of forges, it goes in at 30, so you'd have half of that, which would be 8. But you get the general idea. You get the general idea. Now, the second you get to this point where you are just making tons and tons of computers, you're styling. You're just so styling, because now you're going to start to ramp up very, very quickly. I found the last time, the thing I was struggling most in is computers, and then also the heavy modular frames here, right? And we're going to work on heavy modular frames very soon back at our other base, because we're going to work on encased industrial beams. We've got plenty of screws over there, lots of modular frames, and of course lots of steel pipes, which is the next thing we're going to work on. These heavy modular frames, they take a while. They're just like computers. They take a while, but while you're doing other things, it's off there doing it. But right now, we're going to need lots and lots of power. So we want to go ahead and first come down here, get some fuel. Put that in there. And take this fuel out. I like to keep just a little bit of fuel. I find that sometimes I get stuck in the trees. Like, I'll drop down, I'll be stuck in a tree. And then you can switch your chainsaw. And you can take that tree out so you're not stuck anymore. So you want to have a little bit of fuel just in case. There we go. Interesting. Thanks for your explanation. You're welcome. I like how the numbers add up in this game. You can be very efficient if you pay attention to the number. Absolutely, Drake. And that's what I'll do. Like, the first time, you just kind of understanding, okay, how do I build stuff? How do I get around? What's this for? What's that for? What's this do? Right? That's usually kind of stage 1 of any game for me. Then stage 2 is, okay, let's take a moment. Let's figure out the deep mechanics of how all the splitting works and the merging and all of that stuff, or whatever it is in whatever game. Like, if you play other games, like I love Astroneer, another fantastic game. Another thing you want to figure out, okay, well, if I combine this and combine that, and I do this and that thing, and what does this do, and all of that. And then I'll start over again. I'll say, okay, let's try to be more efficient. Let's build our base better. Let's have a better layout. Let's have a better way of doing it. And then you learn something from that. And then you're like, okay, restart again, right? And then because every time you push yourself to try something different, you could learn something. Now, of course, you could also fail and realize, well, that's not more efficient, that's less efficient, but you still learn something no matter what out of all of that. All right. Oh, we should probably bring a bunch of extra of this as well. Where is it? Right here. In the opposite direction. We're going to run back to our base. We need to make some more power. And we're going to... Oh, wait. Hold on. We don't want to leave our computers behind. Our computers is what we need right now. Where did our computers go? Ooh, we got a bunch of them in there. Hold on. Let's not get too crazy. Let's take some of that out. Let's get our computers. We definitely want those. And really, that's all we need. All the rest of the stuff is being made just fine. We want computers and whatever else that we probably don't have at our other base. Oh, don't forget that hard drive. I'm going to remember to remind me, everybody, when I get back to my base. Spam my chat. Hard drive, hard drive, hard drive. Did we bring some plastic back? I don't know. Let's take all. Let's bring a little plastic back, too. Now, again, we can run a conveyor, but we're just taking our time, right? We're in no rush. Building it out, finding nodes, building little factories around those nodes, running them back, learning new techniques and new game mechanics as we go, and exploring the world. Why am I in a hurry? I paid my money. Well, really, they gave me a free code for this game because I'm a streamer. But I'm investing my time. How about that? I'm investing my time into playing the game. And again, I appreciate greatly to be in that opportunity brought by you guys. Appreciate it. And I can bring you guys epic games here in the stream. enjoyable ones that I absolutely love. You never know. You might find your next favorite game right here on the stream. And you never know. You might win it here on the stream. I give away literally thousands of dollars worth of free games and gift cards and all sorts of fun stuff. Thanks to my awesome supporters and sponsors, including free candy bars. You find me at TwitchCon, I'll give you a free Kismet candy bar. That's right. There's actually a candy bar with my name on it. It comes from Finland and is incredibly good. And you know, everybody's taste buds are different. But those, I could eat a whole box of those things without even just sitting right here. Nom, 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 nom. There you go. Have you tried trains out? I have. I've been all the way to the highest tier. Nuclear power and all of that. Trains are very, very fun. We'll get to trains. We'll get to all of that later on. But right now, we're having lots of fun. We built a giant mega bridge last time when we were doing this oil. And we ran the train out there to grab the barrels of oil and bring them back. And then we were doing our power. Then I realized that, you know what's better? Is to actually build the power by where the oil is. At least that's how I like to do it. Because then I don't have to run over there and screw around with it all the time. I set it, and I forget it. That's all I got to do. Set up that power, maximize, and do all of my math so it works out efficiently so it never stops running. Now, eventually, I mean, I could be doing power math as well, right? Where I go, okay, well, if I add 5 more of these, it's going to take up this much power, and I have this much power left, and all of that. I find that's a waste of time, that particular math, where you just go until, boom, your power kicks off, and then you go back and you build some more power. And then you go until your power kicks off, you go back and pick more power. Now, once we get past this stage, and we're in the next stage, there's so much oil over here that I could literally quadruple or even more my power and then set and forget that. Where I could just keep building and building and building and just have massive, massive stuff. And this is nothing here. This is a little baby. These are little baby bases so far. I mean, we could build it 1,000 times this size easily. We could cover the entire place with all of this. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's not that hard. Not that hard to do. It just takes time and effort. You could massively do it. Now, watch out for this game, though. It is very, very addicting because it is very, very fun. At least I find it incredibly fun. Look, there we go. Getting that loot. Getting that loot. All right, we're back to my main area over here. Let's go over here and see if we get some upgrades going. Oh, I forgot to grab those computers on the way. Oh, well. Oh, wellsies. All right, let's see. Where were we at here? Yeah, we're on our fuel generation here. We need 75. We got 75. Awesome. We need 75 heavy modular frames as well. So let's go ahead and set that as our next milestone. I love how it comes up in the upper right-hand corner. And so this time, instead of us making the computers, we made the automation make the computers. Now, I got a little bit of motors here, and I'd be awesome if, you know, because I got a whole bunch of my basic resources, which I've run all to my hub. This is the greatest thing ever, from the very beginning of the game, right? So the first thing I did is I lifted up my platforms. You know, I got my concrete going, number one. Then you do your iron and copper and all of that. But then I lifted my base up off the ground, and I ran the entire base at the same level. Then I put my hub down, and I ran all the resources to my hub instead of me running to the resources. And you can see that I have just a massive backlog of resources. So if I need some concrete, I need whatever, it's all nice and easy. Now, some of these, by the way, are stacked 3 high. So I've got crazy tons of concrete or whatever it is because I hate my my production to stop. I always like my production to be running, but that's okay. Now, all this stuff runs somewhere, and then, of course, eventually runs back to a point where we can run over here, and we've got a couple backlog. So we'll grab a couple of these babies over here, and we'll utilize those over here as well. Let's go ahead and drop off a little bit of this excess stuff right here. There we go. So if we need to make fuel over here, we got that. We ever need to make something out of that plastic, like computers or whatever, we can do that as well. And now we're good. I think I needed two more. Get that going on. So you always want it working, doing stuff for you. And again, you don't have to rush. I mean, you can let it build up a huge backlog of stuff and then go to the next level, and so on. There we go. Now, heavy modular frames here, right? We were making tons of frames, and currently we were running them over here to this box, and we were running the regular frames right in here to our space elevator. Our space elevator right now needs 1,000 computers. It already has all the motors it needs. And then it also needs 1,000 heavy modular frames. So we're going to need to get that going so we can get up to tier 7 and 8. But really, I don't need to do that right now. What I need to do is I need to upgrade the stuff I've already got and come back to that later, right? I mean, I could upgrade that, but that's a later thing. Right now, let's do this over here. So again, we need those heavy modular frames. And I don't believe we have made anything for that yet, because you got to use the big ones. And right now, we're doing computers. So now's a good time. Let's see, we got all of our frames running out here. Look at the triple, quadruple decked things there. It's really cool when you get those all running at one time. It's very, very cool. And you see they're running from over there. They're running from all over the place. We got ones that are at an angle and whatnot, just because we felt like it. But over here, we can see that this is feeding a ton of stuff over here as well. And this right here is currently making modular frames. But again, we have no power. So it's already finished and ran all of that stuff over there. So before we can do all of that, before we can get all that going, we got to go over here because we're currently using coal. And right now, in a minute, we're not going to need any more coal, right? After we do this power, this will probably be the last coal power I need to make. And then I can go in and use the real big power. The real big power, and we're going to be doing lots of fuel and all of that. I don't know if we're getting all that tonight. I still haven't taken my break. Yeah, I think I need to take a break. One of the things I like to do, you know, as a gamer, is make sure I, you know, get some breaks in, to get up every couple hours or so, or if you're just work or whatever. That's what you want to do. Oh, I didn't bring enough concrete, but I certainly got enough of it, that's for sure. Let's go back and get some concrete. I'll let you guys watch my base here, give you a nice bird's eye view of it. Then I'm literally going to walk around for like a minute, and then I'll be back. Let's go grab this concrete over here. We're going to use a lot of it, so we can keep this concrete going. Right now, it's doing nothing. I'm sure I have boxes of concrete around here. Maybe we should use this up. Let's use this up. There we go. Grab a little of this. Keep my... You know, notice my conveyor's starting to go. The conveyor's firing up again. And we'll utilize all that later on. But we need whole nother line here. Get this going. Alright, let's go look at our power too while we're at it. See, it hit the peak right there. That's what kicked it off right there. It was at 1500. It just barely hit it too. That's pretty good though. Pretty good. We're doing well for a while, and then all of our other machines, because it started to use up the resources, boom, kicked on. We're going to need a lot more power. And again, this is all perpetual power now. The other one, at the very beginning of the game, you have to manually run around and collect leaves and trees and all of that. It's really nice to get out of that stage, because it's like, okay, well, hold on, I got to stop, go get some leaves and whatnot, and come back. I want to get this filled in first. Then I'm going to take a break. Oh, we got 500 Kiz Caps. Awesome. For retweeting. Don't forget to go out and retweet, host the channel. It's going to make you guys some Kiz Caps here in my stream, which is how you win the giveaways here on the stream, is to build up as many of those you can. I'm telling you, some cool stuff coming up too, especially at TwitchCon. Lots of cool stuff. So just hang out in the channel. Host the channel, retweet, boom. Free way of getting free stuff here in the stream, and I love to give out stuff here in the stream. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun, and I just happen to be in a position that I can do that, and that's what I plan to do forever. Until my very last day, just do fun stuff, kind stuff for everyone I can. Unless they're an a-hole. Then they get banned and they miss out on literally thousands of dollars worth of loot here in the stream. Which is, hey, that's their choices, man. It's not my problem. Their choices. Yeah, I haven't gotten to oil in this gameplay, but yeah, doing all that coal, I love it. Yeah. How do you move all of the items in one place? Hold down control. You hold down control, and you click and you drag. So the thing is, if sometimes it doesn't work every time. I find if you just take an extra second, like if you drag it, 1,000, 2, 1,000, then let go, then it tends to work better. But I still accidentally do it all the time. All right, let's go ahead and get up nice and high here. Let's just build one back here so you guys can, of course, I don't have a thing to do lookout tower. Well, fine, we'll just get up on top of here. You guys can check out all my power going on. Space elevator. There we go. Watch me polluting the atmosphere. All right, go on, Stealth Boy. I'll be back in just a moment. I'm just going to get up. I'm going to stop my recording. Of course, you are watching this in the future, say on YouTube. I do upload every single one of my streams on YouTube. Do me a huge favor because it does require a lot of my time and a lot of effort. Inspire me to keep on doing that by hitting the subscribe button right down there and hitting that bell. And then, of course, hitting the like button down below. And I want you to go ahead and take, let's see whose name we want to throw down below. Let's say, well, thank you, Noobski Bot. Thanks for being here. Who do I want to put in there? Who do I want to put down below there? Let's put Wrath of Wall's name down in the comments down below if you are watching this in the future on YouTube. And, of course, watch for the next video coming up in just a moment. Hey, everybody. Kismet here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right in the center of the screen. Also, check me out live on twitch.tv/Kismet. I'll see you all next time.